10%. Chapter 41. Intelligence Agency, Valley Change. The valley is in danger, quick rescue. Zhang Chushuan's expression changed dramatically. He rubbed to get up from his seat and walked to a wall next to him. A landscape painting hangs on this wall. Moving the painting away, Zhang Chushuan pressed one of the bricks. Bang! As the bricks were embedded in the wall, the innermost of the 3 bookshelves in the study began to move slowly. Click! A hole hidden under a bookshelf appears. This is a secret entrance. Walking quickly to the entrance, Zhang Chushuan picked up a book on the shelf and opened it, taking out a fire fold from it to light it. Lear, let's go. Zhang Chushuan beckoned Nangong Li over. The latter was obviously no stranger to the entrance of the secret passage, took the fire fold in Zhang Chushuan's hand, and walked down first. Empress Wu, then you stay by Yan Ran's side. You can talk to her about the matter of accepting disciples. If there is a situation on my family's side, please take care of it. I have an urgent matter and need to deal with it immediately. Quickly finished speaking. Without waiting for a reply, Zhang Chushuan stepped into the entrance of the secret passage and disappeared. Wu Yanxi and Zhang Yanran looked at each other for a while. It wasn't until the bookshelf moved again, covering the entrance, that the two came to their senses. What was that just now? Wu Yanxi looked at Zhang Yanran and asked dumbfoundedly. Secret passage, haven't you heard of it? Zhang Yanran blinked suspiciously. Isn't this proud daughter of heaven who existed thousands of years ago and lived for hundreds of years? This is not a bit of common sense in life. So, should I have heard of that? Wu Yanxi wanted to scratch her head, but she was now in a soul state and had no touch. Zhang Yanran. Only then did she remember that Wu Yanxi was born in the 4th rank sect and had been holding a golden soup spoon since she was a child. Within the 4-rank sect, the cultivators of the gathering spirit realm are afraid that they can only do miscellaneous things, and the great cultivators of the transformation spirit realm can only be disciples of the outer sect. This kind of thing is useful for these people. Is this the level that Grandpa said? No wonder he did not hide the existence of the secret passage in front of us. Quote. Zhang Yanran was suddenly. Meanwhile, Zhang Chushuan and Nangong Lu are walking through a long, narrow and dark secret passage. This secret passage took Zhang Chushuan a lot of time and manpower to complete, and it led from Zongfu's study to a remote bamboo forest outside Lingxia town. There is not much space in the secret passage, and the two did not run, but the step frequency was very high, and the speed was not slow at all. Master, is something wrong? Nangong Li was very intimate, and only then did she ask. Received a secret letter from the valley, saying that it was a huge crisis and needed to be rescued quickly. Zhang Chushuan said the contents of the secret message. Quick help. Nangong Li's face tightened. She understood her sister's character. If the situation were not too urgent, such words would never be used. No wonder Zhang Chushuan is in such a hurry. Mi-Sign transmission is a copy of Zhang Chushuan with reference to the intelligence agency of the world's first dragon protection villa. Efficient and private. In the fantasy world, there is such an intelligence agency. To be honest, very low. It can't be compared with the Tianji building next door. But it can play a great role in Lingxia town and even Dongxing County. At least over the years, Zhang Chushuan has benefited a lot. This intelligence agency has 2 hubs. One is in Zongfu, Lingxia town, Zhang Chushuan study. The other is in the valley of the ferocious beast mountains. The 2 hubs are not far apart, but they are not close either. It takes about a quarter of an hour to send messages to each other. In this quarter of an hour, a lot can happen. That's right. Zhang Chushuan suddenly thought and asked Nangong Li, don't you feel the danger? Quote. Nangong Lu and Nangong Li are identical twins, who grew up together, were cultivated by the Nangong family together, and practiced the same exercise, and there was an induction between them. No, Nangong Li held his chest and shook his head. Then it seems that the situation is not the worst. Zhang Chushuan was a little at ease. But he did not let up, but quickened the pace. Master, is it okay to let Yan Ran and that remnant soul know the secret passage? You also look at this secret passage too much. It may not be hidden in front of the cultivators of the gathering spirit realm, so it is useful to deal with Shui Li and his family, and it doesn't matter if it is announced now. Well, by the way, Master, do you say that the life extension pill can wake up the lady? Definitely. During the exchange, the two walked for about 5 minutes, and an upward staircase appeared in front of them. It didn't take long to walk up the stairs to the end, surrounded by walls. Zhang Chushuan reached out and tapped rhythmically on the wall. Click, click. A light suddenly appeared overhead. Zhang Chushuan's eyes narrowed slightly, and he led Nangong Li out of the secret passage. The host, second master mother. Quote, seeing the much younger Zhang Chushuan, the four dark guards couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. But feeling the familiar breath, as well as Nangong Li, testifying, next to them, they hurriedly bow down. Zhang Chushuan nodded and said lightly, you guys continue to guard, don't worry about me. Quote. After speaking, he turned around and picked up Nangong Li and strode to the gate. The whole family is united. Determining the direction, Zhang Chushuan silently turned on the skill in his heart. Boom. Suddenly, a momentum stronger than Zhang Yanran burst out from his body. Mid-stage of the gathering spirit realm. Gone. Holding Nangong Li, Zhang Chushuan performed a snake step by step. In the next second, his figure was already dozens of miles away. Meanwhile, it is called by Zhang Chushuan in the valley of Mumu Snow Valley. Boom. Gong. A sword light flashed. Zonbing Python's blood spilled on the spot, and his eyes fell unwillingly. Seeing this scene, Nangong Lu's gaze locked on a young man behind him through the blood mist, and his hands subconsciously clenched the things in his hands. Is it a friend, or an enemy? 11%. Chapter 42. Sao Thief. Has my stigma spread to the other world? Flowers. Everyone, I saved you, don't be so vigilant, right? The blood mist dispersed, and the two figures slowly stepped forward, revealing their true faces. The leader is a handsome young man, dressed luxuriously, holding a folding fan, with a smile on his face, gentle eyes, and looks extraordinary. Behind Gongzi stood a black-robed old man. His eyes were fierce, his gaze was like a sword, and it was not simple to look at. The person who took out the sword before was this old man. Tick. Answer. Blood from the long sword slipped down the blade and dripped on the ground, stimulating the eyes of Nangong Lu and others. Just now, the human-level peak fierce beast Zonbing snake successfully crossed the calamity and transformed into the yellow-rank fierce beast Zonbing python, and the realm was comparable to that of the early-stage cultivators of the human gathering spirit realm. Normal fierce beasts have to wait until they transform before they cross the calamity. However, if the snake beast takes the path of turning into a dragon, it will face a thunder calamity and transform its bloodline every time it ascends. After surviving the thunder tribulation, the fierce beast will briefly fall into a period of weakness, and will generally hide to recover from its injuries. But Zonbing Python did not do this, but came over to take revenge at the first time. Faced with this situation, Nangong Lu decided to use the backhand left by Zhang Chushuan. Even if you can't destroy the Zonbing Python, you can at least ensure safety for a while, and wait for Zhang Chushuan to bring people to the rescue. But when she was about to act, two figures fell from the sky. Without waiting for her to react, the old man swung his sword and slashed out, slashing the Zonbing Python to the ground. Although this Zonbing Python has just survived the thunder tribulation and has injuries on its body, it is also a yellow-rank fierce python. The old man can solve it with a sword, at least he is also a gathering spirit realm cultivator, and the realm is not low. I don't know if the two are enemies or friends. Nangong Lu is not happy. This valley hides great secrets that cannot be known to outsiders. Thank you too for solving this Zonbing Python. If you like it, you can take it away. Nangong Lu arched his hands, maintaining a polite appearance. The whole body of the fierce beast is treasure. The skin can be made into armor, the meat can promote the refining of the body, the claws and teeth can forge weapons, and so on. The yellow-rank fierce beast is worth more. Nangong Lu originally thought that it would not be a loss to exchange this Zonbing Python with the backhand left by Zhang Chushuan. But now that things have changed, she only hopes that the two can leave quickly. This beautiful sister, do you only have verbal thanks to the lifesaver? The young man snapped, and opened the folding fan, and asked slowly. There are 10 dark guards behind Nangong Lu, and their strength is generally in the 7th and 8th layers of the refining body realm, and the strongest one is Nangong Lu himself, who has the 9-fold strength of the refining body realm. This group of people is a very good force in ordinary towns. But in the eyes of young people, it is nothing. This little power cannot resist the yellow-rank lower-grade Zon Ice Python. Isn't it a life-saving grace? Pretty sister. Saving. Quote. Nangong Lu almost vomited. If she really couldn't resist the yellow-rank grade Zonbing Python, then the young man's words were good. But the problem is that she has the means left by her own master, and she can completely resist or even destroy this Zonbing Python that has just broken through and rushed over to take revenge before it stabilizes the realm and recovers its injuries. Then, young people are not called life-saving graces, they are called cutting off their beards, and they are called inserting a foot to seize the treasure. But considering that their surface strength really could not resist the Zonbing python, the young man subjectively helped, although it was a pity that the Zonbing python was taken, but she also recognized it. But this young man is actually on the line. It's ridiculous, when these things can't be said. If you say it, I am afraid that even the young people will not believe it. Alas, the powerful means of his own master, how can such a fool understand? Habitually crazy in his heart, Zhang Chushuan spoke. Nangong Lu arched his hands and said, seeing that Gongzi's background is not ordinary, I'm afraid he won't be able to look at what we took out, right? Quote. Nope. The young man closed the folding fan and smiled, yes. Quote. Yes. Nangong Lu frowned. You, me, heroes save beauty. Shouldn't beautiful sisters agree with each other? The young man asked with a smile. Agreeing with each other. Have you read too many picture books? It turned out that this well-dressed beast was hungry for his own body. Bah, it's disgusting. A trace of disgust flashed under Nangong Lu's eyes, and he resisted the urge to directly blast the other party, and took a deep breath. That will disappoint Gongzi, I thought that he was a wife and a mother. Quote. No, no, no. The young man waved his hand and grinned, I'm disappointed, I'm satisfied. Quote. If not, I'm not interested in you at all. Nangong Lu. The young master has started again. The old man behind the young man bowed his head slightly, and a trace of helplessness flashed in his eyes. He knew it was going to be like this. The two were from the Si Chao sect of the nine-rank sect. The young man is the son of Fu Kanghai, the sect master of the Hai Chao sect, and he paid it off. The old man himself was the second elder of the Sea Tide sect, the old man of floating water. Pay off this young master. In the old man's opinion, all aspects are good, talent, heart, wisdom, can be a suitable successor of the sect. But no one is perfect, and there is a hobby in paying off. I like a wife. Still that kind of heavy lover, give her a young woman is not wanted. 3 months ago, pay off the wife of a subordinate power lord. In order to calm the influence, Fu Kanghai let him go to the Fierce Beast mountain range to practice and hone his mental martial arts. This tempering has continued until now, and Fu Qing's strength has also reached the peak of the 10 levels of the refining body realm, preparing to return to the sect to break through the gathering spirit realm. On the way, I happened to encounter the Zon Ice Snake to cross the robbery, so I was ready to come over to pick up the leak. I didn't expect to meet Nangong Lu and others by chance. The floating old man had a premonition of the appearance of this scene at that time. So you're a Sao thief. Sao Sao. Someone in the other world has also heard the name of my Sao Chengshang. Closing parenthesis. Nangong Lu was made to his brain by this remark, and when he reacted, he suddenly blushed angrily. Do you have bubbles in your brain? Quote. Do you really think you're my lifesaver? Believe it or not, I blew you up. 11%. Chapter 43. Mushui Valley, the frozen land of my beloved wife asking for flowers. Sao Sao. Brain bubbles. Up. Fu Qing was stunned for a moment, a little confused. He knows all these words, but why can't he understand them when they are combined? Who is Sao Sao? A role model for seniors. How do you have bubbles in the brain? Blowing up. This is understandable. Powerful cultivators can blow up a big hole by performing martial arts. But to do this, ordinary gathering spirit realm powerhouses can't use it. Phew. Nangong Lu exhaled and forcibly endured his nausea. I am not without a way to resist the Zonbing python. The saving grace is impossible to talk about. I don't want to clash with you. Please leave here immediately. Quote. Nangong Lu acted very tough. She is in possession of the thunder given by Zhang Chushuan. Once that thing is detonated in piles, it is no problem to kill a strong person at the peak of the refining body realm, although the gathering spirit cultivator can use spiritual energy to protect the body, but he will also be seriously injured under hard resistance. Only when you reach the incarnation realm can you resist it with Reiki flower armor. This lady, don't be in a hurry to refuse me. Fu Qing's expression did not change. He did not believe that Nangong Lu had the ability to threaten her. I am the young sect master of the Sea Tide sect. As long as you are willing to accompany me once, I can give a suitable price, otherwise. Fu Qing licked his lips. In the Fierce Beast mountain range for 3 months, he has not opened meat for 3 months. Now that Nangong Lu has sent it to the door, it is better than any one he has used before, and he is willing to let go. Coercion, inducement, he has long used it extremely skillfully. But this is just the beginning. When he took the shortcut to the woman's heart, he naturally had the means. Get out, Nangong Lu replied crisply. As she spoke, she raised a remote control-like thing in her hand and threatened coldly, if you don't roll, you are ready to stay here forever. Quote. If it weren't for the pity of blowing up the valley, according to Nangong Lu's previous hot personality, he would have pressed the switch at this time. This valley was discovered by Zhang Chushuan 45 years ago while wandering in the ferocious Beast Mountains. Deep in the valley, there is a cave, in which there is a pool of spring water, which is a Xuanji heavenly material and earth treasure, and the earth gushes ice spirit spring. Zhang Chushuan's physique belongs to fire, and his cultivation is also fire attribute exercises. This Xuanji ice system spirit spring is useless to him, but he just takes some diluted and sells them in exchange for resources. Nangong Mushui, that is, the young lady that Nangong Lu and Nangong Li have served since childhood, it was then that she and Zhang Chushuan became acquainted, and finally came together through various experiences. Later, the four were killed while traveling, and Nangong Mushui blew up his dantian, and only then escaped with Zhang Chushuan and the Nangong Luli sisters. Zhang Chushuan thought of this valley, took the two daughters to escape here, and then put Nangong Mushui's body in the ice spirit spring, frozen the body, and kept it alive. This valley is also called Mushui Valley by Zhang Chushuan. After living in Mushui Valley for a while, the three of them came to the nearest human town nearby, Lingxia Town, after some discussion, and created a family power based on the martial arts hall. Since Zhang Chushuan broke through to the 10 levels of the refining body realm, one person was enough to sit in Lingxia Town, and Nangong Lu and Nangong Li settled in Mushui Valley and were responsible for protecting Nangong Mushui's body. Zhang Chushuan, as a traverser, although he does not have a gold finger, has a special thinking mode. He never gave up the struggle. Over the years, he secretly adopted orphans and secretly cultivated dark guards in Mushui Valley. Lingxia Town is a fierce beast town, or a major transportation hub, occupying a favorable location. He used his business knowledge from his past life to make a lot of money. And half of this wealth was used by him to build the Dark Guard. Dark Guard is a knife he left for the Zhang family. This Mu Shuigu who cultivated the Dark Guard was the retreat he prepared for the Zhang family, and the food stored in it was enough for the entire clan to use for 10 years. These Dark Guards are divided into 4 groups, Dragon, Phoenix and Qilin, and White Tiger, all of which are personally trained by Zhang Chushuan, with Nangong Li and Nangong Lu assisting on the side. Among them, the Phoenix group is responsible for guarding the security of the valley, while the Dragon group is controlled by Zhang Chushuan, who secretly protects the core members of the family. The Qilin and White Tiger clans are responsible for secretly collecting all kinds of information, spying on opponents, or dealing with shady matters. If it weren't for some reasons that caused the Dantian to shatter, plus Nangong Mushui being frozen in Mushui Valley, Zhang Chushuan would have swallowed Shui Li and his family long ago and began to develop externally. However, now that the National Crossing has opened, the 100-fold reward ability has been activated. Zhang Chushuan no longer needs these backhands. But Nangong Lu didn't know this, and for Mu Shuigu, he still had the idea of not destroying, it was better not to destroy. Madam, don't be in a hurry to refuse. Seemingly shocked by Nangong Lu's hard spirit, Fu Qing was not radical, and continued to persuade. You are guarding here, which means that there are secrets in this valley. Quote. It's not interesting to have a dead fish and a broken net. You might as well take it from me, and when I'm satisfied, the corpse of this Zonbing python can be left to you, and then leave here immediately. How? You don't have to rush to promise me, I'll give you a quarter of an hour to think about it. Fu Qing showed a sincere smile. Nangong Lu originally wanted to curse. But hearing that there was a quarter of an hour to consider, he decisively chose silence. Give me time to think about it. It just so happens that I am also waiting for reinforcements. Wait for the master to arrive. I'll see how you die. Meanwhile, Zhang Chushuan quickly left the bamboo forest with Nangong Li and swept towards the depths of the fierce beast mountain range. About 10 minutes later, the two came to a cliff. Below this cliff is where Mushui Valley is. Normally to enter the valley, you need to walk through hidden slits. That slit was on the other side of the valley relative to the bamboo forest, and was located further into the ferocious beast mountain range. It will take half an hour for Zhang Chushuan to get there and go in again. He doesn't have that much time. Tightening the delicately polished gliding wings behind him, Zhang Chushuan's eyes froze. Lear, waifu will take you to experience the feeling of flying again today. 11%. Chapter 44. Could someone come from the sky to save you? 12,000 flowers plus more. Inside Mushui Valley. Nangong Mushui and 10 dark guards were confronting Fu Qing and the two. Not far in the middle of the two groups of people is the dying Zan Bing python. Phew. Somehow, Nangong Lu felt that he was getting hotter and hotter. Her gaze casually swept over the dark guard beside her, and she noticed that the situation of the 10 people was not quite right, with a strange pink on their necks, constantly secreting sweat. Not true. Nangong Lu suddenly reacted, and looked at Fu Qing with sharp eyes. Shameless, you actually poisoned. Quote. Hasn't madam ever heard that the soldiers are not tired of deception? Pay off and smile triumphantly. He fanned his fan lightly, without denying it. Shameless. Nangong Lu was very angry. She was angry and shameless. I was even more angry that I was actually plotted. If the eyes can kill, they have died thousands of times. Beside her, the 10 dark guards were also very uncomfortable. Their bodies were weak, and they could only rely on running qi and blood to maintain their standing. But the more this happens, the faster they feel that the strength in their bodies is lost. Seeing this scene, Fu Qing did not rush forward. He is cautious by nature and has enough patience for playing with women. Until Nangong Lu and others have a complete toxicity, they will not make a move. But if people don't go up, it doesn't mean they can't speak. Since I covet your body, how can I let you go? When I opened the folding fan just now, I had already laid the poison down. Give you time to think about it, but just wait for the drug to take effect. By the way, the poison in you is not deadly, it will just make you gradually lose strength, and somewhere it will become more and more itchy, eager to fill. This is Ben Gongzi's unique secret recipe. Even a chaste martyr, when it comes to the end, will be obedient like a tisk. Paying off used a mind-attacking plan. If the poisoned person is unstable, it will speed up the aphrodisiac. You fart, do you mean you've been a? I said you, how can you look like this dog? Nangong Lu replied directly, not suffering a loss at all. Her eyes were still firm and clear. If there really was a situation like that, she would definitely commit suicide with a complete innocence. No matter what, never embarrass Zhang Chushuan. But she didn't despair. Luck is still on her side. The earth-gushing ice spirit spring in Mushui Valley has the title of washing water, diluted and swallowed, can wash the whole body of filth. It's a good solution. The biggest problem now is that Nangong Mushui is frozen on the side of the ice spring. Nangong Lu thinks that Nangong Mushui is 100 times more beautiful than herself, and if she lets Fu Qing find out, she doesn't know what disgusting things she will do. So you have to solve this side first. In fact, it is not difficult to solve the problem of paying it off. The difficulty is the floating cloud old man. After all, the cultivators of the gathering spirit realm were different from the martial artists of the refining body realm, and Nangong Lu was not sure if the thunder bombardment could play a role. This is the whole card left by Zhang Chushuan. Until the last moment, she didn't dare to use it indiscriminately. It's really hard-mouthed. Fu Qing's face froze. Nangong Liu Biao's fierce speech, Rao is very thick-skinned, and he almost didn't hold back. This also makes him want to spur on the other party more and more, revenge. Accept your fate. There is no point in resisting negatively. Isn't it good to experience the joy of fish and water? Or do you think that someone will come down from the sky to save you like young Master Ben? Fu Qing's heart was hot, and he continued to speak out to stimulate Nangong Lu. Nangong Lu's face flushed strangely, and he staggered back a step. She felt that her body was getting hotter and more uncomfortable. I couldn't help but think back to the battle with Zhang Chushuan. No way. I can only detonate the sky thunder and try it first. No matter what, at least pay for the explosion. Nangong Lu's heart was ruthless. But the next moment, a certain sense of familiarity appeared from the bottom of her heart and changed her decision. You're right. Nangong Lu showed a bright smile and raised his head to look at Fu Qing. So beautiful. Fu Qing was amazed by Nangong Lu's smile, and his eyes were confused for a while. But immediately, he came to his senses and frowned in doubt. Got that right. What is the correct answer? Well, how do you feel a little cold on the top of your head? Pay off and look up. Vaguely, it seems to see a large silver bird. Young master, be careful. The floating old man's angry voice sounded. Fu Qing hadn't seen the situation clearly above his head, but he only felt that he was pulled by a huge force, and his body flew out uncontrollably. Then he saw a large knife fall from the sky and land where he had just stood. Bang! The big knife smashed the ground into a large pit. Pay off, the pupil shrinks. If it weren't for the floating old man pulling him at the critical moment, he would have been split in half by now. Bang! A figure landed on the ground after the long knife, emitting a shock. Then, Fu Qing saw a pair of eyes that could not be forgotten by reincarnation and rebirth. The last person who thought about my wife didn't even have a grave. You're very nice. Seemingly praiseworthy words from Zhang Chushuan's mouth. But paying it off was a cold shiver all over. Click. Zhang Chushuan pulled out his long knife, and the ground was suddenly covered with cracks. Die. Zhang Chushuan cast a snake step to pay off slightly, and at the same time slashed into a knife. Fu Qing only felt a flower in front of him, and Zhang Chushuan, whose eyes were cold, had already come to him, and at the same time stabbed out. Before the knife arrived, the 3-foot blood-colored knife chi appeared, and it had already touched Fu Qing's head. I'm going to die. Death shrouded him, and Fu Qingxin felt powerless, and even forgot how to breathe. What a dare! At the critical moment, the floating old man flew a long sword towards Zhang Chushuan's back. Encircle way to save Zhao. Bang! Zhang Chushuan turned around and blocked the sword with his long knife. Boom! With a bang, Zhang Chushuan flew upside down and came to Fu Qing's side in the blink of an eye. Got you. Zhang Chushuan grinned and reached out to grab Fu Qing's neck. Pay in full. 11%. Chapter 45. My territory is a little different, asking for flowers. Bang! Zhang Chushuan landed on the ground with Fu Qing in his hand, his eyes playful. Pay off and try to resist. But under the suppression of the powerful aura in the middle of the gathering spirit realm, his body could not move at all. Boy, stop. In the distance, the anxious voice of the floating old man was heard. The floating old man was obviously panicked. From Zhang Chushuan's long knife falling from the sky to his own flying out with the knife after landing on the ground, it all happened between electric light and flint. He didn't expect that there would be an attack from the sky, and so many changes would happen in the blink of an eye. It was not until the long knife was about to fall on Fu Qing's head that he realized the danger and came to the rescue at the last moment. But at this time, Zhang Chushuan had already landed and directly took advantage of the situation to attack. He didn't have time to react at all. Zhang Chushuan drove the knife to Fu Qing's neck, which was regarded as a response to the floating old man. Bang! Pay off his legs and kneel to the ground. Don't kill me, don't kill me. I am the son of the sect master of the 9-rank superior sect Haichao sect, and you can't live if you kill me. Fu Qing begged for mercy, but did not forget to move out of the backer between words. Are you threatening me? Zhang Chushuan raised his eyebrows, and the corners of his mouth curled. Looking at this smiling face, a bad premonition appeared in Fu Yin's heart. The next moment, the premonition came true. Click. Zhang Chushuan made a lightning strike, twisting one of his arms. I don't like to be threatened. Zhang Chushuan continued to smile. Very gentle and handsome. Fu Qing looked at it and only felt that he was the devil. Not a threat, not a threat. I'm thinking about you well. His arm was broken, Fu Qing's face turned white in pain, and a layer of fine sweat appeared on his forehead. But he knew that now was not the time to cry out in pain, so he forcibly shouted, I am a rotten person, rotten life, good man, why do you have to take your life for me, isn't that wasted? Quote. Hearing this, Zhang Chushuan nodded. You can flex and stretch, you are a character. Quote. I can't let you go. Click. Another sound of fracture sounded, and Fu Qing's other arm was also abolished. Ah, Fu Qing finally couldn't help it and let out a cry of pain. Boy, I told you to stop, didn't you hear? The floating water old man's face was as gloomy as water, holding a long sword and said, release the young sect master immediately, I can be the master and let you go, otherwise you will all have to die here today. Quote. As he spoke, he mobilized the spiritual energy in his body, echoing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth through blood tricks. The momentum rose, and the cultivation in the later stage of the gathering spirit realm was revealed. This floating old man was actually a late-stage cultivator of the gathering spirit realm. From this, it can be seen how much Fu Kanghai, the sect master of the Haichao sect, attaches importance to this son. But Zhang Chushuan doesn't care about that. This one actually gave him a flattering medicine. Then you must die. Noise. Zhang Chushuan indifferently spat out 2 words, raised his right foot and kicked towards Fu's crotch. This kick was fast and fierce, and it did not give people a chance to react at all. Ah, the root of his life was destroyed, and Fu Qing let out a scream with wide eyes, trembling and rolling on the ground. But this tumble immediately touched the wounds on both arms, making him more painful. At this moment, he really wished he could faint. Find death. The floating old man was completely furious. Zhang Chushuan actually ruined Fu Qing's life. Even though it is indeed not clean to pay his life, he is the son of the sect master of the Haichao sect. Without that, how to pass on the lineage? Now even if he pays off and saves him, I am afraid that he will be held accountable. The floating water old man couldn't wait to make an immediate move and smash Zhang Chushuan's corpse into 10,000 pieces. But the payment is still in Zhang Chushuan's hands, let him cast the mouse bogey. But you can't do nothing. There it is. His gaze swept over Nangong Lu and the others, and the floating old man suddenly paid attention and said, "Boy, immediately release the young sect master. Quote. Or I'll kill your woman now." With that, he pointed his long sword in the direction of Nangong Li. Ha! Hearing the floating old man's words, Zhang Chushuan just smiled and said lightly, "You know what? This valley is my territory." Quote. Ha! The floating old man was stunned for a moment. What the hell? What about this valley being your territory? Xuantian continent, strength is respected. In my territory, the real dragons have to be coiled for me. You, naturally, are no exception. Zhang Chushuan continued. Ridiculous. The floating old man couldn't help but make a mocking remark. But the next moment, his expression changed abruptly. A supreme majesty appeared out of thin air and descended on him. He felt that every cell in his body was suppressed. Body, can't move. Dantian, can't sense it. Blood trick, instant closure. Chi and blood, all backwards. It wasn't until he was left to refine his body and recultivate that he regained control of his body. Can refine the body and recultivate as. Enough for what? You. The floating old man looked at Zhang Chushuan with a frightened expression, wanting to ask something. But as soon as he looked up, he found that the other party was already standing not far in front of him. My territory is different from someone else's. Zhang Chushuan grinned at the floating water old man and punched him on the dantian. Bang! The dantian was destroyed, and the aura in it poured out. The floating old man couldn't help but spew out a mouthful of blood. You, master, come here quickly, sister is gone. Zhang Chushuan wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Nangong Li's exclamation. He immediately used his body to come to Nangong Li's side, and found that Nangong Lu was holding her and rubbing around, like a cat when spring comes. She was still panting in her mouth. Hand over the people to me. Here you come to finish, break the limbs of those two guys and scrap the meridians, and then go to get the ice spring water for Feng Wei to drink. Zhang Chushuan picked up Nangong Lu by the waist, left a word for Nangong Lu, and swept towards the residence of the three people in Mushui Valley. Nangong Lu does not need to drink ice spring water. He Zhang Chushuan is no more fragrant than that. 12%. Chapter 46. The Good Poem of the Poetry Saint. Zhang Chushuan was on Earth in his previous life, and he liked the poem Saint Du Fu the most, especially his poem, Spring Night Joyful Rain. Good rain knows the season, when spring is happening. Dive into the night with the wind, moisturizing things silently. The wild paths are dark, and the rivers and boats are unique. Shall look at the red and wet place, and the flower is heavy on the official city. In such verses, the author meticulously depicts the characteristics of spring rain and the scene of night rain in Chengdu with great joy, and enthusiastically eulogizes the spring rain that comes in time and nourishes all things. In this poem, the poet's description of the spring rain is subtle. Delicate and vivid, picture the sound and shape. So wet, no, it's good poetry. Absolutely good poem. Zhang Chushuan read the poem to his second wife, Nangong Lu, in exchange for a powder punch. Reaching out to brush Nangong Lu's hair, Zhang Chushuan sighed, really. As soon as I come, I want your master and me to help. Lior, you are also bad at learning. Nangong Lu, you don't like it, but give me an ice spirit spring, bastard. Master, slave, congratulations on your recovery to your prime. God really cares for us. If you don't recover, you can't help me detoxify, the slave will be miserable. Woo. At first, Zhang Chushuan didn't notice that something was wrong, and was ready to comfort Nangong Lu with a few words. But soon he came back to his senses, his face stiffened with a smile, and a tic-tac-toe appeared on his forehead. Nangong Lu's first two sentences are fine. But what does the last sentence mean? What does it mean that if he doesn't recover, he can't help her detoxify? Is this questioning his ability? As a dignified person, is it tolerable, but what is unbearable? I see you owe it. Come on, whoever is afraid of whom, don't think that I will be afraid of you if your strength becomes stronger. Don't you realize that not only has my strength become stronger, but my Excalibur has also been strengthened, don't beg for mercy. Afraid you won't make it. Zhanbao. A battle that ended in Zhang Chushuan's complete victory. Nangong Lu and Nangong Li look exactly the same. But the fighting style is completely different. Nangong Lu is good at defense, but his weaknesses are mastered by Zhang Chushuan, and he often loses quickly. Fortunately, she practiced well, recovered her combat strength quickly, and could still consume Zhang Chushuan's energy. Relatively speaking, Nangong Li is better at attacking and has strong combat power. But every time it passes, it takes a long time to recover. Lior, even if your sister has the help of paying off the medicine, she is not my opponent. Next time you two join forces. When he went out, Zhang Chushuan met Nangong Li, who came to check the situation, and couldn't help but sigh. This was exchanged for a blank eye from the other party, and he walked into the door without answering. Alas, Zhang Chushuan sighed suddenly. It's true that the food is sad, but the rookies will have opinions. You have to find a master to compete. Thinking of this, Zhang Chushuan walked towards the depths of Mushui Valley. Inside the house, Nangong Lu leaned lazily on the back of the bed, draped in sheets, only showing fragrant shoulders, but still charming. Nangong Li gave her a white look, and said angrily, "Sister, you are messing around again." Quote, "Sister, do you really not know what my sister is thinking?" Nangong Lu smiled lightly and asked rhetorically. Nangong Li's smile froze, and he silently lowered his head. After a long while, she raised her head again, and said with a firm look in her eyes, "Sister, I can't live without the master, and I don't want to lose the miss." Quote, "The young lady is the guide Gong Mushui. Nangong Lu and Nangong Li are both from Nangong family servants, Nangong Mushui's maids, and their status is not high, but Nangong Mushui has always treated them like sisters." Nangong Li understood that Zhang Chushuan must be waking up Nangong Mushui now. It will definitely be embarrassing then. After all, when the lady was away, the two maids climbed into the lord's bed. "Actually, you don't have to act like death." Seeing Nangong Li's expression in his eyes, Nangong Lu laughed out loud. Nangong Li showed a dumbfounded expression, not quite understanding what her sister was laughing at. "Actually, there's something I haven't told you." Nangong Lu changed his position, changed to lying on his side, supported his cheek with one hand, and smiled. "Actually, before the young lady fell asleep, she told me that she could follow the master." Quote, Nangong Li was even more stunned. "Otherwise, you think I would have gone to the master's bed back then?" Nangong Lu blinked her eyes and sighed. "Our young lady is afraid that she will not be able to wake up in her life, so how can she want the old man to stay alive and widowed?" Quote, "And the two of us, who are maids, aren't we roommates?" Nangong Li thought seriously for a while and nodded. "Then sister, why are you so crazy? Don't tell me it's medicine." Nangong Lu blushed a little, and then said, "When the young lady wakes up, she will definitely occupy the master for a long time, so now eat full." Quote, Nangong Li, "Sister, you're 2S. Nangong Lu was not moved, but instead pulled over Nangong Li with great interest and disgust. "Do you say that there are any exercises that can forge the master's talent divine sword stronger?" Quote, "Why do you want that kind of exercise? In this way, the young lady can't fight alone. Doesn't she have to find us as a helper?" Nangong Li, "Sister, you are really 2S. 12%. Chapter 47. Nangong Mushui, wake up. Mushui Valley is a special place in the Fierce Beast mountain range. There is a word called spring in all seasons. But this Mushui Valley seems to have a fate with Nangong Mushui, such as Zhang Chushuan obtained this name. The 4 seasons are like winter, and every day is bathing in the cold. But anyone who can enter the valley can realize the extraordinary nature of this place. However, Mushui Valley is very peculiar. There are clouds and mist above. Standing on the cliff near the cliff cannot see anything, and there is only a hidden gap hidden in the depths of the jungle below, only allowing one person to pass through. It's a natural secret place. Zhang Chushuan also found it by chance. The inner range of Mushui Valley is not small, and the more you go inside, the greater the wind and snow. But just when you reach the deepest place, there will be a sudden feeling of enlightenment, and the surrounding wind and snow will disappear in an instant. The source of the disappearance is a cave emitting a dark blue light. As soon as he entered the cave, Zhang Chushuan felt a chill that could wash his soul and make people feel inexplicably at ease. This cave was originally a Zonbing snake, and now it is the old nest of Zonbing python. When Zhang Chushuan first came, he could barely resist the attack, seized the opportunity to steal some ice spirit springs and left. But when he arrived again with Nangong Mushui and others, the position of the twin engines changed. If it weren't for the Zonbing snake occupying the geographical advantage, fighting to escape blindly with one eye at the last moment, it would have become Zhang Chushuan's belly. But now, after it completes its metamorphosis and sends it to the door, the effect on Zhang Chushuan and even the entire Zhang family will be even greater. These are the afterwards, not mentioned for the time being. Zhang Chushuan walked through a long natural corridor to the bottom of the cave, and the sound of spring water became clearer and clearer. After passing through a cave entrance, he came to a spring emitting blue light, and the soul-cleansing aura became more and more obvious. Phew. Exhaling comfortably, Zhang Chushuan did not stop, walked to the ice fountain, and looked down. At the bottom of the ice spring, lies a woman in a cloth strip, and all the key parts are covered. Such a beauty, placed on the Earth network, will definitely attract unanimous evaluation. Spicy. The body is hot and spicy. The woman's eyes did not open, but the eyebrows revealed tenderness like water and charm like fire, and 3,000 green silks gushed out with the spiritual spring at the bottom, gently fluttering, like a live wallpaper, which was more charming. Looking at the woman's face, Zhang Chushuan's eyes flashed into a trance. When the two first met, he was spying on news in a restaurant and wanted to find an auction consignment hand for Bing Lingquan. Nangong Mushui appeared with Nangong Lu and Nangong Li, smearing light red around her eyes, setting off the existing charm and becoming the focus of the audience at once. Nangong Lu and Nangong Li are also very beautiful, originally much more beautiful than ordinary beauties. This can be seen from the fact that countless royal maids have been paid, but after seeing Nangong Lu, they cannot restrain their desires, although this person's own hobbies are also a big problem. Not to mention, Nangong Lu and Nangong Li are still twins. The power of the two combined together is not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. But even so, when they stood next to Nangong Mushui together, they still became foils. Even being qualified as a foil is an affirmation of them. With the past in mind, Zhang Chushuan stuck his memory on the night of the relationship. At that time, Nangong Mushui accompanied him in dancing and drinking with him. She was wearing a clear purple shirt, blue silk and ink dyeing, colorful fans flowing, and dancing like a fairy. The water spirit-like posture seems to have come out of a dream. It just so happened that night was still the full moon in mid-autumn, and the moonlight was silver and silver. Under the care, Nangong Mushui raised her wrist and lowered her eyebrows, sometimes lightly soothing her hand, holding a small fan in her hand to compare it, like a pen wandering the dragon painting dancing, and the jade sleeve was windy. Zhang Chushuan was moved. That night, he scored twice. Nangong Mushui completed the transformation of the girl. Mushui. Zhang Chushuan called softly. He is not single-minded, but he also has feelings. Otherwise, for so many years, there would not be only Nangong Lu and Nangong Li. The Zhang family has long been carried forward by him. Over the years, he didn't want Nangong Mushui to recover all the time. And this day, finally the time has come. Phew. Zhang Chushuan took a deep breath and gathered his aura onto his right hand. The earth-rushing ice spirit spring is a strange thing in the world. Ordinary refining realm martial artists touch it directly, and the touch part will instantly freeze into ice, and then smash into slag and merge into the spring water. Nangong Mushui is a Tianyan holy body and has awakened, so he can keep his body immortal in the spring water, but with the help of the cold power of the ice spring, he locks his vitality and falls into a deep sleep without losing his life. Zhang Chushuan used his skills to have the mid-stage strength of the gathering spirit realm, but he did not dare to directly touch this spiritual water, but swung a palm at Nangong Mushui. Star-sucking palm. The spiritual power attached to the surface of Nangong Mushui's body. Boom. Nangong Mushui's body moved and floated to the surface. Under Zhang Chushuan's deliberate control, her face was the first to surface. Zhang Chushuan used his other hand to remotely control Nangong Mushui's mouth, and then took out a life extension pill and popped it out with his fingers. When the pill entered Nangong Mushui's mouth, Zhang Chushuan went to control it again and let him swallow it. The pill entered the abdomen, the medicinal effect spread, the vitality spread, and poured into the limbs and hundreds of bones of Nangong Mushui's body. Zhang Chushuan opens the family panel and observes the situation in due course. It's done. When he noticed that the status of Nangong Mushui's information bar changed from frozen to awake, he almost cried out excitedly. Not enough is not enough. Zhang Chushuan's eyes froze and he waved his big hand. Sync skills. Add. Ice Heart Immortal Sutra. 12%. Chapter 48. Burning Incense Valley Strikes, Crisis Coming. Name. Nangong Mushui. Identity. The mother of the Zhang family. Realm. refining body tenfold. In the early stage of the gathering spirit realm, due to the shattering of the Dantian, the strength regressed. Combat power, refining body sixfold. Physique, Tianyan holy body, enlightenment level. Exercises, yellow rank lower pin, ice yuan trick complete. Yellow rank lower product, Blackwater trick complete. Martial arts, yellow rank lower pin, rain palm of the sky complete. Yellow rank lower pin, U cloud body complete. Human rank ultimate blue water sword method complete. After Nangong Mushui lifts the frozen state, the body data enters the viewable state. Zhang Chushuan checked it and inexplicably gave his wife a like. Nangong Mushui does not have that kind of identity setting such as the Holy Land Holy Daughter, the Upper Realm Fairy turning around, just a big elder and youngest daughter in the broken Jupan family. The Tianyan holy body did not awaken until it reached the gathering spirit realm, so Nangong Mushui only behaved modestly during the refining body realm. When Zhang Chushuan and Nangong Mushui met, she had just opened a blood trick. The exercises that Nangong Mushui practiced were family inheritance exercises. Since she was from a female background, she only learned the lower grade part of the yellow rank and the extreme part of the human rank. But that's much better than Zhang Chushuan. Speaking of this, I have to say that Nangong Mushui is really good to Nangong Lu and Nangong Li. Most of the Nangong family servants, every time they break through a realm, they can get the next level of corresponding cultivation exercises, and they also need to work for the family. But Nangong Mushui had long handed over the cultivation content of the water yuan technique refining body to the refining dirty realm to Nangong Lu and Nangong Li. Because of this, after Nangong Mushui fell into a deep sleep, Nangong Lu and Nangong Li were able to break through to the late stage of the refining body realm, ninefolds, and help Zhang Chushuan in all aspects. Dantian broken, but the heavenly yin holy body is still there. Earth gushing ice spirit spring. Maybe. Thinking of some kind of feasibility, Zhang Chushuan, with the mentality of trying, used the synchronization skill to pass on the entire Ice Heart Immortal Sutra to Nangong Mushui. For his wife, it must be without reservation. Well, in fact, there are synchronous skills, and all members of the family are cheats in the eyes of Zhang Chushuan. Zhang Yanran sighed. If it weren't for the fear that she might inadvertently leak it to Wu Yanxi, an outsider, in the future, he was willing to give it all. The ice-casting Tao scripture can only be cultivated by the Xuanian holy vein, and it was initially the beginning of the yellow rank lower grade exercises, but the Ice Heart Immortal scripture began to promote under the human rank. This means that this exercise starts from the refining body, and each cultivator may be different. After all, the type, quantity, and level of cold things absorbed by each cultivator will not be different. Mu Shui has the heavenly yin holy body, and is not afraid of the cold Xuanji ice spirit spring, if you use it to cultivate. Zhang Chushuan's eyes flashed several essences. Although the Ice-Casting Tao Sutra and the Ice Heart Immortal Sutra are exercises that have been created, to use the metaphor of the novel, it is like an outline, or a detailed outline. After getting the outline, any author can create, but what can be created tests personal writing, imagination, and so on. Therefore, for every practitioner, as long as the exercise is promoted, it is equivalent to creating a skill by himself, directly at the level of perfection, and can exert 100% power. Nangong Mushui took advantage of this opportunity to inevitably break the cocoon into a butterfly and be reborn in nirvana. Wife, I don't know if you can understand what I mean. Zhang Chushuan looked at Nangong Mushui with expectant eyes. In the spring water, a layer of green light appeared on the surface of Nangong Mushui's body, which was vitality and proof that the body was being repaired. The green light quickly disappeared and reflected into Nangong Mushui's body, which meant that her body had fully recovered. This also means that she will wake up immediately. But Nangong Mushui didn't have the slightest sign of waking up, but still closed her eyes and floated on the spring water. But when Zhang Chushuan saw it, a smile appeared. The husband and wife are still in tacit understanding. Nangong Mushui must be digesting the extra exercise information in his mind, and then preparing to cultivate with the help of the Earth Ice Spirit Spring. This is bound to be going on for quite some time. Zhang Chushuan is also full of patience, sitting down cross-legged directly, patiently admiring the beauty of his wife. Breakthrough process. Meanwhile, Lingxia Town, Zongfu. The competition between Mo Xiaoxiao and Zhang Yanmo ended in the latter's victory without suspense. Zhang Chushuan was not there, and Zhang Jingshuan was in charge, leaving the three of the Mo family and Xingyu Zongxinghong to have a light meal. After Mo Yun learned that the Zhang family had unified Lingxia Town, he congratulated him again and was very happy. It was as if it was his Mo family who unified Lingxia town. During the banquet, Mo Fan had been secretly observing Zhang Yanren, but found that the other party completely ignored him. But in fact, Zhang Yanren was just chatting with the master Wu Yanxi who had just worshipped. Otherwise, for the sake of Mo Yun and her future sister-in-law Mo Xiaoxiao, she would give a polite smile. Hate, because you care. But Zhang Yanren never cared about Mo Fan from beginning to end, and naturally he didn't have any special emotions. But Mo Fan didn't know this. Looking at Zhang Yan's light appearance, the taste of this meal was the same as chewing wax, and the regret was stronger. Xinghong and Yimei were speechless the whole time, but some changes in their eyes showed that their hearts were not as calm as they seemed. Boom! Just as this lunch was about to end, a huge explosion suddenly sounded outside the door. Immediately after, a woman's voice resounded in the area of Lingxia town. I am the elder of the Burning Incense Valley. The people of Zhang Mansion came out to answer. 12%. Chapter 49. Elder of Burning Incense Valley. It's too stretched too. 1,600 reviews plus more. Elder Burning Incense Valley. It's a gathering spirit realm cultivator. It's a fairy. How did the Zhang family provoke the Burning Incense Valley? The Zhang family destroyed Shui Li and his family, yesterday. Today, many members of the mercenary group come to the Zhang mansion to report their merits, and some people simply come to pay respects to the Zhang family, and their eyes are familiar. After all, from now on, the Zhang family is the only family in Lingxia town, and it deserves to be a ground snake. But everyone didn't expect it to be lively. The Burning Incense Valley is a 9-product superior sect, and its power radiates to several counties including Dongxing County, and Zhang Mansion is tantamount to a dragon and a snake compared to it. Among them, the elders of the Burning Incense Valley were all high-ranking Gathering Spirit Realm cultivators. At this time, a cultivator of the Gathering Spirit Realm came to the Zhang Mansion and felt that the person who came was not kind. Could it be that the Zhang family provoked the Burning Incense Valley? If it is, then this is too short a time to become the first family in Lingxia town. Or to build a relationship. For a time, people's hearts floated. Compassion fell a deaf ear to the chatter around her. Since she began to advance to the 10 layers of refining body realm, she had not left the mountain gate for 5 years. I finally broke through the Gathering Spirit Realm a few days ago, and now that I have the opportunity to come out, I naturally have to shake my might, otherwise the bitterness will be eaten in vain. But soon, she will regret this decision. Boom. The ethereal spiritual energy above the Zhang mansion surged, and it quickly turned into a palm the size of a 3 zhang, heading straight towards the cover of Mercy Flowers. Seeing this scene, a flash of disdain flashed in Lianhua's eyes. When attacking, it can be transformed into spiritual qi, which is a means that can be achieved by a martial artist who refines the body with 10 skills. With a 3 zhang-sized Reiki palm, you can do it with a few more blood tricks. Carving worm trick. Look at my fingers. Mercy Flower raised her sleeve and pointed a finger. For a while, the surrounding Reiki turned into pieces of petal shape, quickly converged, turned into a finger the size of 10 zhang, and flew straight towards the center of the Reiki palm. Finger the fake palm to break the face with a point. Mercy Hua seemed to have seen the Reiki palm being broken, and she controlled the Reiki finger to fall in the Zhang mansion, causing an absolutely deterrent picture to the other party. I wanted to give you a chance to argue. But if you look for death yourself, it's no wonder I. A trace of fierceness flashed in Lianhua's eyes. But the next moment, she was dumbfounded. Bang! Reiki fingers and Reiki palms touched together. But the fingers that should have destroyed the palm of the hand that were overwhelmingly dominant in size and type stopped, and after a period of stalemate, there were signs of rout. Click. Several cracks appeared on the surface of the finger that were visible to the naked eye, and no matter how much the Mercy Flower increased the aura, it could not be saved. Boom. The Reiki fingers eventually shattered, turning into a storm of Reiki. And these storms were absorbed by that huge palm. The aura palm became more condensed and pressed down towards the Mercy Flower. Oops. Mercy's pupils shrank. Where did he not know that he had met a stronger Gathering Spirit Realm strongman, and the other party's palm was the real sense of breaking the face. She mobilized her spiritual power and tried to use her body to escape. But the palm of Reiki is obviously not simple, and it has suppressed the air around the Mercy Flower. Mercy was slow to mobilize her aura for a while, and could only watch as her palm fell and pressed her to the ground. At this time, a figure flew in Zhang Mansion, leaving a vague afterimage in the air, and in the blink of an eye, he came to the side of Chihua and fell, lifted her into his hand, and then returned the same way. Although this process was short, passers-by nearby could see the person's appearance clearly. Young, beautiful, female. It seems to be the third generation of the Zhang family, Zhang Yanran. Shish, the person who shot seems to be Zhang Yanran. That third generation wastewood eldest lady of the Zhang family. Have you ever seen a trick to take down the wastewood of a cultivator of the gathering spirit realm? I broke through to the gathering spirit realm in my 20s, and I am a super genius. So, this eldest lady was hiding in the past. Needless to say, it definitely is. Why do you want to do what? It must be the plan of old thief Zhang. Old thief Zhang, saying this in front of Zhang Mansion, you two are dead. Quote. Ahem, Zhang Mansion is terrifying, old man Zhang cowhide. Zhang Mansion is terrifying, old man Zhang is cowhide. Quote. Li Cheng, who happened to witness the whole process nearby, and Li Yi's father and son looked at each other, and they both read the shock and determination in each other's eyes. Zongfu cowhide, old man Zhang is terrifying. It is necessary to be firm in the policy of licking. Lick it, everything you need. Bang. Zhang Yanran fluttered down, and threw the mercy flower casually on the door of the living room in the backyard of Zhang Mansion, like throwing down a little chicken. Being able to take down the mercy flower with one move, naturally it is not Zhang Yanran's strength against the sky, but Wu Yanxi has not used his hands for too long, and uses his apprentice's body to use means. Otherwise, although Zhang Yanran can win the mercy flower, it will definitely not be so easy. After all, the martial arts mastered by mercy flower are more and stronger. But these are not known to Lianhua, and at this time she is doubting life and issuing 3 consecutive questions. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Originally, he wanted to shake the mighty wind, but he turned out to be embarrassed and became a stepping stone for Tianzhao. It's ridiculous. At this time, Zhang Jingxuan and the others also walked out of the living room, and they were shocked when they saw the situation outside the house. And that's solved. Is there no big war? This elder of the burning incense valley is inevitably too stretched, right? Father, what to do with her? Zhang Yanran asked Zhang Jingxuan for instructions. Do you want to kill it directly? 13%. Chapter 50. Nangong Mushui, a spirit of transformation asking for flowers. Kill. Zhang Yanran defeated the elder of the burning fragrance valley in seconds, immersing Zhang Jingxuan in shock. At this time, when I heard her proposal, my eyes couldn't help but be surprised. This daughter is also too murderous, right? Wouldn't it be better to be imprisoned? Zhang Jingxuan pondered for a moment and asked hesitantly. After all, Mercy Hua is an elder of the burning incense valley and a cultivator of the gathering spirit realm. Killing her and killing 2 disciples are completely 2 concepts. If this is killed, then the incense valley and the Zhang family will not die. Although that is unfathomable, Zhang Jingxuan is not sure if the family has the ability to resist the burning incense valley. On the contrary, by holding the mercy flower in hand, he can grasp the initiative in negotiation, so that the incense-burning valley does not dare to act rashly. Father, if you are worried about the revenge of the incense-burning valley, then you don't have to. Burning Incense Valley is not my Zhang family's opponent at all. Zhang Yanran had a 7-trick heart, and he easily guessed Zhang Jingxuan's thoughts. If she had thought about it before she made a move against Mercy Flowers, she would have considered it the same. But when she made a move just now, Wu Yanxi had said that with the strength exerted by her body, she could completely slash the great cultivator of the spirit realm across the ranks. Note that it is to behead the great cultivator of the spirit realm, not to defeat it. These are 2 completely different concepts. And the strongest person in the Burning Incense Valley is only a sect master who cultivates in the late stage of the gathering spirit realm. Is this still to be feared? There is no need to take ordinary gathering spirit realm cultivators in their eyes. This cultivator of the Burning Incense Valley can be killed on the spot. At that time, the news will be transmitted, and it can also deter some curfews. For Wu Yanxi's words, Zhang Yanran believed 100%. After all, the other party is the reincarnation of the king, and he swears not to harm the Zhang family in any form. Grandpa said that my Zhang family doesn't need to fear anyone. Any enemy who invades can be directly killed. Seeing that Zhang Jingxuan was still a little hesitant, Zhang Yanran moved out of Zhang Chushuan. It's not her nonsense, it's Zhang Chushuan's original words. With a great avenue-level field, Zhang Chushuan's self-confidence has never been higher. In that case, Zhang Yanran even moved out of Zhang Chushuan, and Zhang Jingxuan naturally did not hesitate. I have to say that Zhang Jingxuan is not stupid. Once the idea is determined, he can immediately push the old and the new, and draw inferences from others. This mercy flower not only wants to kill, he is also ready to behead the public to maximize his influence. In this way, it can also speed up the progress of the Zhang family to master the entire Lingxia town. Don't kill me, don't kill me. As early as when he heard Zhang Yanran propose to kill himself, Mercy Hua had already returned to his senses. At that time, she wanted to beg for mercy, but it was Zhang Jingxuan's hesitation that made her hold back her words. But now, Zhang Jingxuan and Zhang Yanran have reached a conclusion, and she has to beg for mercy. She is still young. She had just broken through the gathering spirit realm. She still has a broad future, and she doesn't want to die so worthless. Elder Xinghong, please intercede for me. I can promise to refine the yellow rank pill for you 3 times, and I owe you a favor. Mercy Hua spoke extremely quickly and sent out a cry for help to Xinghong. For the 9-rank sect, one more gathering spirit realm cultivator in the sect is a big deal. After Mercy Flower stabilized his cultivation in the gathering spirit realm, the Burning Incense Valley held an elder promotion ceremony for him. At that time, the representatives sent by the Xingyu sect to observe the ceremony in the Burning Incense Valley were Xinghong and Yimei. So Xinghong and Mercy Flower met. Xinghong is very impressed. Gathering spirit realm cultivators are more eager for yellow rank pills than body refining realm cultivators. It is a rare opportunity to make a yellow rank alchemist owe favors. But the problem is that he and the Zhang family are not friendly, and it should even be said that there are some gaps. After all, he accompanied Mo Fan to sweep the face of the Zhang family, but he was slapped in the face. Think of Zhang Chushuan, the means that made him lose his strength without knowing it. This thing cannot be promised. You can refine the yellow rank elixir. A woman's excited voice suddenly came from the crowd. Mercy Flowers moved and understood that this was a ray of life. That's right, I can refine the yellow rank elixir. I'm valuable. Mercy nodded like a chicken eating rice. She heard that Zhang Yanran and Zhang Jingxuan really planned to kill her. Big brother, I want this person. When my father comes back, I'll talk to him. Zhang Jingxi walked out from the back of the crowd. At this time, if you can be interested in Mercy Flowers, it is also her alchemy control. Yes, up to you. Zhang Jingxuan readily agreed. He had already changed his mind when he said that he was still a yellow rank alchemist. Alchemist, that's a hen that can lay golden eggs, kill waste. Zhang Yanran's thoughts were the same, and he did not raise any more objections. The most disappointed person may be Wu Yanxi in Zhang Yan's body. As an extremely militant, she finally woke up after sleeping for thousands of years, and she really wanted to go out to fight and go out to kill. Is there a way to temporarily seal her cultivation? Zhang Jingxuan glanced at Mercy and threw an inquiring look at Zhang Yanran. In the second time, Zhang Yanran was able to deal with Mercy Flowers. You can't let her keep an eye on it, can you? Yes. Zhang Yanran definitely won't, but she has a teacher, Wu Yanxi. After receiving a positive answer, she nodded immediately. Wu Yanxi took over the body again, and then performed a Zan rank martial art. Truncated finger. Meridians can be temporarily sealed. The meridians are sealed, and the qi, blood, and spiritual power cannot function, and they can only exert the 2 cultivation behaviors of the refining body. And the hand of Zhang Yanran shocked everyone present. They in turn attribute all this to Zhang Chushuan. Didn't say, Daddy old man Zhang Cowhide. At this time, Zhang Chushuan, who was considered bad by Emil, was looking ahead with his mouth wide open, his eyes full of surprise. Direct spirit building. Wife Cowhide, broken sound. 13%. Chapter 51. Talent Pupil Technique. Ice Spirit Eyes asking for flowers. Mushui Valley. In the deepest cave. Nangong Mushui floated above the spring water pool without the help of any external force. The ice spring water from the ground was like spiritual energy, which was frantically inhaled into her body, and all it was absorbed, and it was almost bottoming out. Zhang Chushuan is dual-minded and can see 2 pictures. One screen, virtual panel. On the panel, the Ice Heart Immortal Sutra suffix rank is constantly rising, from the first human rank lower grade to the middle grade of human character, all the way forward, like making a rocket, and soon stopped at the yellow rank extreme. But in the end, that step passed. The grade of the Ice Heart Immortal Sutra stays at the lower grade of the Zan rank. And Nangong Mushui's own strength also soared all the way from the 10 layers of the refining body, and did not stop until the early stage of the transformation spirit realm. This means that Nangong Mushui Dantian has been repaired. This also means that Nangong Mushui has turned into a liquid of spiritual gas, and the spiritual energy in the Dantian has all been turned into liquid, successfully building the foundation. If the foundation is successfully built, Nangong Mushui can increase his life by 100 years, and can control the aura to form an aura armor on the surface of the body to fight. Next, as long as the spiritual liquid in the Dantian is condensed into a Jaden, she will be able to reach the Jaden realm, increase her life expectancy for another 300 years, and be able to fly with the weapon. Boom. More direct than the virtual panel is the change in the momentum of Nangong Mushui. Without using the whole clan to improve their strength, Zhang Chushuan could intuitively feel the kind of suppression from the life level. This kind of suppression made Zhang Chushuan understand why ordinary refining body realm martial artists couldn't even make a move in front of the great cultivators of the transformation spirit realm. Do rats dare to attack tigers? Time to wake up. Zhang Chushuan looked ahead, his eyes burning. As his words fell, Nangong Mushui suddenly opened her eyes, and a deep blue color appeared in her dark eyes. Boom. The gaze stared, turned into two pupils, and came to the cliff in an instant, blowing out two large holes. Look at this movement, the power is no weaker than when Zhang Chushuan slashed from the sky before. And this is just a casual glance at Nangong Mushui. If she is serious about it, she can perform a talent pupil technique comparable to the Zon rank martial arts, Ice Spirit Eyes. The Ice Spirit Eyes are amazingly powerful, and they also have special effects, freezing. Ordinary people may be able to resist the damage on the surface of the Ice Spirit Eye, but they can't stop its frostbite on the seven spirits. Mu Shui. Zhang Chushuan's Adam's apple moved, spitting out two words with difficulty. Nangong Mushui narrowed her gaze and looked at Zhang Chushuan. The eyes of the two intertwined in midair. This glance seems to be still yesterday, and it seems that 10,000 years have passed. Denshiko. Suddenly, Nangong Mushui drank coldly and swung a palm towards Zhang Chushuan. The temperature in the cave dropped suddenly, and the refining realm was afraid that even the bones would freeze here. Nangong Mushui was like a cloud, suddenly came to Zhang Chushuan, slapped a palm on his chest, and a layer of blue light appeared on the surface. Imagined, the scene of Zhang Chushuan flying upside down did not appear. I saw Nangong Mushui burying her head in his arms and whispered, "Master, Mushui thought she would never wake up again, it's good to see you." Quote. Zhang Chushuan's eyes had already become extremely gentle. Hearing Nangong Mushui's words, he couldn't help it anymore and reached out to stop her in his arms. Mushui, I miss you too. This time you wake up, we will never be separated again. Zhang Chushuan's eyes were extremely firm. No matter who it is, even if it is the great emperor, don't think about hurting Nangong Mushui or anyone in the Zhang family at his hands again. The two hugged each other tightly and enjoyed this rare warmth by listening to the spring water. At the same time, Zhang Fu. When the mercy flower was sealed and repaired by Zhang Yan, Zhang Jingxi took her out of the hall with great interest. Seeing this, Mo Yun also heard his farewell to Zhang Jingshuan. Brother Zhang, the younger brother will go back first, and will come back as a guest after a while. Quote. Okay, I'll send you to the door. Zhang Jingshuan smiled and made a gesture of invitation, without saying a word. These few days are the eventful autumn of Zhang Mansion, and it is not convenient to stay Mo Yun as a guest. In particular, he has to help Zhang Chushuan share the housework, which is even busier. Soon, the group came to the gate of Zongfu. Mo Yun asked Zhang Jingshuan to stay, and then said to Mo Xiaoxiao, Xiaoxiao, if you stay here to play for a few days, you can also learn more from your brother and enhance your strength. Quote. Got it. Mo Xiaoxiao glanced at Mo Yun angrily, and he didn't have a good face at all for this father who sold his daughter. She couldn't forget the scene before the competition with Mo Yun began. This smelly father actually walked to Zhang Jingshuan's side, took out a small note and handed it to him, saying, this is Xiaoxiao's weakness, so that the virtuous nephew must defeat the enemy. Quote. Listen up. Is this what fathers should do? Do you want your daughter to lose so much? So towards the Zhang family. I don't know, I thought he was the illegitimate son left outside by old man Zhang. Zhang Chushuan, closing parenthesis. However, Zhang Yanmo did not accept Mo Yun's kindness, but won her with his own strength. She is willing to gamble and lose, and Zhang Yanmo will marry. There is Zhang Chushuan's golden mouth. The parents of the two parties can't ask for it, and the two parties themselves have no opinion. This marriage contract is naturally completed. As for Mo Yun asking her to stay in the Zhang mansion, she couldn't ask for it. She aspires to be stronger. Stay in Zongfu, you can definitely achieve your wish. Everyone is very satisfied with what happened today. Only Mo Fan, his already repentant intestines are blue. Father, 13%. Chapter 52. You change your last name. Unknown enemy. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Shut up. Without waiting for Mo Fan to speak, Mo Yun interrupted him with a word. He knew very well what Mo Fan was thinking. Seeing that the Zhang family was so powerful, he didn't put the Burning Incense Valley of the same level as the Xingyu sect in his eyes at all, and he regretted it. Seeing that Zhang Yanren broke through the gathering spirit realm at the age of 16, he took down the elders of the same level in the Burning Incense Valley with one move. He regretted it. He regretted rejecting this family affair, regretting personally pushing away this backer, and personally pushing away a proud daughter with both strength and talent. It's normal to regret it. Mo Yun also wants to have such a powerful daughter-in-law. But the question is Mo Fan matched? Not mentioning talent and origin, he is unworthy of what he has done. I don't want to get married, and I didn't make the two enemies like this. Well, since you did it, recognize it. I regretted the result. If Mo Fan regretted it in his heart, Mo Yun didn't bother to say anything. But he actually wanted to fight for it, and he didn't want any face. Then don't blame his father for doing things perfectly. Father, I remember, when you returned home half a month ago, you said that you need to change your surname to join the Xingyu sect and become a personal disciple. I agreed to this. Whether it's called Xing Mofan or Xing Fan, it's up to you. You can go to the Xingyu sect to develop with confidence. On the family side, I will let Mo Chen inherit. After finishing his words in one breath, Mo Yun didn't care what Mo Fan thought, said hello to Zhang Jingxuan again, turned his head and left. Father. Unexpectedly, Mo Yun was so decisive to draw a line with himself, and Mo Fan regretted it more and more in his heart. But that doesn't change the end result. As a younger sister, Mo Xiaoxiao's eyes moved slightly, and she didn't say anything after all. This matter was Mo Fan's lack of consideration. It is already good that the Zhang government did not pursue responsibility. If Zhang Chushuan knew what Mo Xiaoxiao was thinking, he would definitely feel that this granddaughter-in-law was good, worthy of the Tianyan holy body. Exactly like the wife in her arms. The appearance is slightly worse. Fujun, how long have I been in a coma? In the cave, Nangong Mushui paused to stay warm, raised her head and looked at Zhang Chushuan, with an indissoluble friendship in her eyes. The memory in her mind was still stuck for a second before she fell into a deep sleep. Zhang Chushuan and Nangong Luli looked at her with sad expressions. That scene was like the next day. Wake up now. Although Zhang Chushuan's appearance has not changed, only his black hair has turned silver. But Nangong Mushui knew that time must have passed for a long time. Zhang Chushuan wants to save her and give her a chance to break through the incarnation. But it's not easy. 35 years, 3 months, 7 days, and 3 hours and a quarter of an hour. Zhang Chushuan said a string of numbers, accurate to the minute. Nangong Mushui's good-looking eyes suddenly bent into a crescent moon. My heart was like drinking honey. I didn't expect you to remember even half a quarter of an hour. Because every second I miss you to the bone. The teeth are going to sour. Nangong Mushui stretched out a powder fist and hammered it on Zhang Chushuan's chest, pretending to be sour. The corners of Zhang Chushuan's mouth were slightly upturned, and he said softly, but the heart is sweet, isn't it? Quote. HMPH, HMPH. Nangong Mushui wrinkled her cute nose and did not comment. So, Jin Zan should be 40 years old, has he started a family? Thinking of her 5-year-old son who was only asleep, Nangong Mushui's eyes were guilty. It's early, and we have completed our original plan, both children and daughters. So, I'm all a grandmother. Nangong Mushui's eyes lit up. Although she has lived in the world for a long time, her physical and psychological age is still stuck in her 20s. But for future generations, I yearn for it. Yes, grandma who looks much younger and more beautiful than her granddaughter. Zhang Chushuan rubbed Nangong Mushui's hair, his eyes doting. Hearing this, a hint of cunning flashed in Nangong Mushui's eyes, and she turned around and asked, by the way, you didn't treat Lior and Lear badly, right? Married. Quote. Zhang Chushuan's expression froze slightly, and then nodded. Married. Quote. Do you still have children? There it is. How many? 2. Wow, they both gave birth to 2 children, which is much better than me. It's okay, you're awake now, I'll accompany you if you want to give birth to a few. Bah, you big satyr, I knew you were thinking about these things. Wronged. So what's the situation? Quote. It's not that I blame you for being overly beautiful, not yet. Right. Quote. Then why don't you hurry up and prepare me a favorite long dress? I don't have it on me. I'll let Lior and Lear give you that set. Don't you want to go soon? In the urging of Nangong Mushui, Zhang Chushuan turned around with a bitter smile. But at this time, Nangong Mushui's voice came again. By the way, Lior and Lear's children are surnamed Zhang, right? Well, quote. Zhang Chushuan's body stiffened. This turn was too fast. He didn't react. The main thing is that Nangong Mushui has never tested him before, and he is defenseless. Sure enough, women have a bonus in IQ in this kind of thing. Mushui, you listen to me explain. Meanwhile, the top of a soaring mountain. A white-clothed young man sitting cross-legged with a long sword on his lap suddenly opened his eyes, and a trace of fierceness flashed in his eyes. This feeling. It's the Tianyan holy body back then. Aren't you dead yet? 13%. Chapter 53. The Land of Chess Battles. Don't. Impossible. Not her. As soon as he made a guess, the man with the sword vetoed it by himself. At that time, that woman had just broken through the gathering spirit realm, and the Tianyan holy body had not been completely awakened, and she would not use it, and she was obviously from a small family. The strength of her two maids, and the weakness of the man she is looking for, can also prove this. Without background, she blew herself up in Dantian back then, and there was absolutely no possibility of continuing to live. Even if you don't get away with it, you can't wake up again after 35 years. With such an analysis, there is only one answer left. A flash of fire flashed in the sword-wielding man's eyes. It must be someone among the descendants of that Tianyan holy body that awakened the same physique, so that I could sense it at the moment of its breakthrough. In this way, a new Tianyan holy body has been born. When I encountered that Tianyan holy body back then, I felt from a distance that there was a man's aura in it, obviously not a virgin, so from the beginning, I only planned to catch her and devour her. But this new Tianyan holy body, I can choose to cultivate the long-term furnace after devouring it. Sure enough, the way of luck is me. Thinking that he had reached the Jaden realm for so long and could not take that last step, the man with the sword became more and more certain that this was a fated opportunity. Midori Chi. The man took out the communication jade card and summoned the sword-wielding maid that his mother had just sent to him. Above the peaks, the wind and clouds change in a moment. The clouds and mist swirled in the sky, turning into an eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, a blue cold light shot from afar, and in the blink of an eye, he came to the sword-wielding man and stopped. It was a simple long sword with a blue and white body, and the long sword emitted a deadly aura, which could easily destroy the vitality of ordinary refining realm martial artists. I've seen the 14th prince. On the long sword stood a sleek woman in deep-sea armor, respectfully bowing to the man holding the sword. His gaze swept over the woman, and a flash of surprise and heat flashed under the sword-wielding man's eyes, but it quickly converged. Please go to the territory of Dongchuan Mansion in Nanyangzhou and help me bring someone over. The young man with the sword spoke very politely, and his voice was very soft. Although the sword woman is a sword-wielding girl, she is extremely talented and a real person in the Jaden realm, and the young man does not treat her as a subordinate. Especially he has some other thoughts about this woman. Nanyangju. The sword woman frowned slightly. It seems to be the place where the 5 great dynasties are fighting. Cultivators who have reached the incarnation realm or above are not allowed to enter. As the 14th prince, sure it's not a joke. The woman's voice was clear, and she said coldly, like water stirring cold ice and wind breaking jade. Its own appearance is clear, standing on the sword at this time, and its temperament is as dusty as a fairy. The man with the sword lost his mind for a moment, and said softly, I am not asking you to intervene in the battle between those 5 chess pieces in Nanyangzhou, I only need you to bring back one person. That person is important to me. It's my intention for you to go and talk to the mother concubine, and she will naturally give you the envoy token. The sword woman originally wanted to say something. But after the man with the sword mentioned, mother concubine, she hesitated for a moment and nodded gently. If the lady agrees, Lu Qi will naturally lead the order. Quote. I don't know who the 14th prince asked his subordinates to find. Take this. The man with the sword threw a glass bottle to the woman, and said in a positive tone, there is a drop of my essence blood in it, and when it enters the territory of Dongchuan Mansion, the essence blood has its own induction, and then you will naturally be able to find someone. Quote. Yes. Lu Qi didn't say much. After catching the glass bottle, he pinched the sword in his left hand, and the imperial envoy flew away. On the peaks, the wind and clouds change again. The man looked at the direction in which Lu Qi left, and his eyes condensed slightly. It's still like this to me. Quote. But when I break through the divine mansion realm, I must take you as a concubine. Inside Mushui Valley, Zhang Chushuan's body was a little stiff. After much hesitation, he decided to cut the mess quickly. It's not a past life Earth. In the fantasy world, strength is king. Be domineering. You can't throw the pot to Nangong Lu and Nangong Li, right? Wife. Zhang Chushuan sees death as home and prepares for a showdown. But before he could speak, he heard Nangong Mushui snort and laughed. Okay, I won't tease you. Quote. What a big deal. Although Lior and Lear are my maids, they are also, well, according to you, part-time roommates. Quote. They were going to marry you with me. It's just that you don't know. Nangong Mushui smiled very happily. Zhang Chushuan took a closer look and found that her expression did not seem to be pretending. Think about it again. The two concubines of Shui Li and Lingxia Town are full of wives and concubines, not to mention those more powerful families. The fantasy world is more important to inherit the bloodline and spread the branches. The bloodline of the strong is extremely precious, and each descendant is a treasure of the human race. Think of it this way. Zhang Chushuan found himself seemingly missing something. You call Lior and Lear, I want to talk to them and get to know them over the years. Nangong Mushui waved Zhang Chushuan away. You know, I can't. Zhang Chushuan hugged Nangong Mushui with a dead face. The big problem was easily solved, and he immediately returned to his original appearance. I just woke up. Nangong Mushui rolled her eyes. Her cheeks were red, and there were a little ice spirit spring water droplets on her face, like Xiaolu flowers. Zhang Chushuan saw it and was directly stunned. It's because you just woke up that you need to help your husband. Your body has been sleeping in the ice fountain for so long, maybe there is stiffness. For the husband's fire, this responsibility, do not let go. 14%. Chapter 54. The Great Harvest. Zonbing Python 100-fold reward 14,000 flowers plus more. The competition between husband and wife did not start after all. Although he only found Nangong Li for morning exercise in the morning. At noon, he fought with Nangong Lu for a long time, and won steadily. After 2 discussions, Zhang Chushuan lost a lot. However, he can fight again. Absolute. Did not make a move. Considering that Nangong Mushui had just woken up, Zhang Chushuan did not want his wife to be absolutely superficial. Moreover, Nangong Mushui was extremely eager to know what had happened in the past 35 years of falling into a deep sleep. Zhang Chushuan naturally loves his wife. Lear, Mushui woke up, look for you two to come over. In the surprised eyes of Nangong Lu and Nangong Li, Zhang Chushuan found them. Sir, are you so fast? Quote. Nangong Lu muttered half loudly and popped out such a sentence. Zhang Chushuan almost spurted a mouthful of blood. I'm not fast, don't you know? This woman really owes a beating. Do you believe it or not, I won't let you get out of bed for a few days. Zhang Chushuan threatened angrily, and faintly opened the avenue-level realm suppression. For a moment, Nangong Lu felt that his strength began to regress, and he did not stop until the refining body was heavy. She suddenly showed a frightened expression and begged for mercy. Master, the slave knows that it is wrong. Quote. Zhang Chushuan smiled proudly, and then said, you don't have to talk to Mu Shui for too long. Quote. We'll go back to the Zhang mansion in a quarter of an hour, and you tell him if there's anything you want to know about it. At the door of the house, Zhang Chushuan gave Nangong Lu and the Nangong Li sisters a mouthful. In his original plan, he would not leave the Lingxia town for a long time. After all, the burning incense valley may attack at any time, others are not in the Zhang mansion, the avenue-level realm cannot be called, and it is impossible to resist the enemy, and the effect of invincibility cannot be achieved. But this time the situation was urgent, and he had to come to support. Fortunately, Zhang Yanren broke through the gathering spirit realm, and there was even Wu Yanxi, a portable teacher, and there was not much problem in sitting in the family for the time being. However, Wu Yanxi is an outsider after all. Zhang Chushuan has a cautious personality and does not like to put his sense of security on others, so he wants to go back quickly. Moreover, Nangong Mushui woke up and broke through the transformation spirit realm, so it is time to return to the family to show its existence. Slave knows, sir. The 2 wives bowed down to receive the order and flew away. Zhang Chushuan touched his head and walked in the other direction. Stepping through a field of snow without leaving any marks on the surface, Zhang Chushuan came to a special ice prison. In this ice prison, countless enemies of the Zhang family have been locked up over the years. At this time, 3 new guests lived inside. Elder of the Sea Chow sect, Old Man Floating Clouds. Young sect master of the Sea Tide sect, Pay It Off. As well as the fierce beast in the early stage of the Gathering Spirit realm, Zon Bing Python. Master. There were 4 dragon group dark guards guarding the door, and Zhang Chushuan immediately saluted when he saw it. Zhang Chushuan nodded and walked into the ice prison. All 3 new residents are in a coma. Zhang Chushuan first checked on the situation of the floating old man. Due to the destruction of the Dantian, the cultivation of the Gathering Spirit realm was completely lost, and more than half of the 36 blood tricks opened by the floating water old man were destroyed. If there is no high-grade elixir or a heavenly material and earth treasure above the Zon rank, he can only stay in the 10 layers of refining body in this life. This is definitely a painful thing for the floating old man. Zhang Chushuan decided to be a good person. Help the floating old man to liberate. Now I have made a vendetta with the Burning Incense Valley, and I will not deal with the Xingyu sect, and if I offend the Si Chao sect again that's great. Quote. Zhang Chushuan's eyes flickered, and a plan suddenly appeared in his heart. A plan that will help the Zhang family rise as quickly as possible. As a kryptonite family, isn't the pursuit of speed. But in this way, you can't kill this old man immediately, otherwise the Si Chaozong will detect the problem and send someone to investigate. Solve it one by one, it's too troublesome. Leave his dog life for the time being, and wait until we return home. Having made a decision in his heart, Zhang Chushuan stretched out his finger and tapped on several parts of the floating old man's body. He is not Wu Yanxi, he does not know what to cut off the veins, and he can temporarily seal the meridians of the human body. But it doesn't matter, it's okay to destroy the meridians directly, isn't it? Then there's this guy. The hidden danger of the floating old man was lifted. Zhang Chushuan came to Fu Qing's side. For this guy who feasts on his wife's body and puts the next 3 indiscriminate means into action, it is not a question of killing or not killing. He must be made to feel the pain. Dragon 2, Dragon 3. Zhang Chushuan shouted out the door. Master. 2 dark guards wearing dragon masks walked into the ice prison. Teach you the 10 tortures I taught you, and perform each of these guys. Zhang Chushuan kicked the unconscious Pei. Yes. The 2 dark guards immediately took command. One of them hesitated and asked, Master, what if he can't hold on? Quote. At their hands, there is no one who can withstand 10 types of torture. Then let him hold on. Zhang Chushuan had thought of this a long time ago, casually threw a bottle to Long and said lightly, here are 100 yellow rank lower grade grass return pills. Quote. As soon as you find out that his situation is wrong, immediately feed him a pill to let him live. Remember, I won't let him die, he definitely can't die. I won't let you stop, don't stop executing him. Understood, Zhang Chushuan asked without waves. But Long and Long San's hearts were tight. The yellow rank lower grade pill that was a treasure of the ordinary unpopular family was used by Zhang Chushuan. This is paid off, it's miserable. But, deserve it. Ah, Ryuji and Ryuzo took Fu Qing to another place. Zhang Chushuan could faintly hear some screams. But he didn't care, but focused on Zon Bing Python. I didn't kill you 35 years ago, and it seems that you are also grateful. Come and repay me at this time, that's so polite. Zhang Chushuan solved the Zon Bing Python together. Then touch on the body. Found expendable. Select consumption has the following options. 1. Yellow rank lower grade Zon Bing Python blood X 100. 14%. Chapter 55. 9 rank sect only. Opening parenthesis closing parenthesis. If you find a corpse that can consume a fierce beast of the Gathering Spirit realm, you can choose the following 100-fold reward for consumption. 1. Early stage of the Gathering Spirit realm Zon Bing Python blood X 100, Ice Poison Fangs X 100, Snake Meat X 100. 2. Gathering Spirit realm mid-stage Zon Bing Python blood X 10, Ice Poison Fangs X 10, Snake Meat X 100. 3. Late Gathering Spirit realm Zon Bing Python blood X1, Ice Fangs X1, Snake Fang X1. Sure enough, seeing the 100-fold reward appear, Zhang Chushuan's face flushed and he was very excited. In the Zhang family, except for Zhang Yanren and Nangong Mushui, who are special physiques and cultivate the Ice Heart Immortal Sutra, the others are all cultivators of dragon determination. The snake is a human-level fierce beast, corresponding to the human cultivator refining body realm. The python is a yellow tier fierce beast, corresponding to the human cultivator gathering spirit realm. Python is the second stage of the snake dragon. In the chapter of transforming the dragon and refining the body, what he cultivates is the snake python. And if the snake python wants to be complete, it needs to be bathed in python blood. This gathering spirit realm early Zonbing python is just right. With the blood of the Zonbing python, Zhang Chushuan can learn the dragon determination body to perfection. And this means that he can sense 108 blood tricks in his body, open it, and perform the first snake python transformation to repair the damaged dantian. Gathering spirit realm, all in front of you. But the benefits don't stop there. If ordinary people get the corpse of the Zonbing python, they can only use flesh and blood to increase their strength, refine the body with blood, or become an auxiliary medicine when refining pills. But for the Zhang family, due to the cultivation of the dragon duel, it is completely quenched with Zonbing python flesh and blood, and the whole body is quenched with Zonbing python blood to impact the blood trick. Zonbing python meat is no less than the best quenching pill for the Zhang family. Zonbing python blood is no less than the ultimate Tongjiao pill for the Zhang family. The yellow rank python beast is the best elixir for the Zhang family in the refining body realm. Zhang Chushuan had long planned to hunt the python-like fierce beasts in the ferocious beast mountain range. I didn't expect to send one right now. Or once an old rival. Of course, under normal circumstances, this Zonbing python is not enough for Zhang Chushuan to use alone. Can be rewarded 100-fold. The resources of the entire clan to break through the refining body realm with 108 blood tricks are enough. The next thing that is lacking is time. Zhang Chushuan took a deep breath to keep himself calm, and then put the Zonbing python corpse into the spatial ring. 100x rewards are not in a hurry to redeem. 100 Zonbing python corpses are not good to bring back to the Zhang mansion. How were you talking? Zhang Chushuan pinched the dot back into the ice spirit spring cave. The laughter of Nangong Mushui's 3 daughters, he heard it outside the cave, and he seemed to be in a good mood. It's almost there for the time being. Let's go back to the Zhang mansion first. I don't know if Jin Zan still recognizes me. Nangong Mushui's eyes were apprehensive, but more of an expectation. She separated from Zhang Jingshuan when he was 5 years old. Now Zhang Jingshuan's children are in their teens. Listening to Nangong Li, my grandson just made a marriage contract with a woman today, and the other party is still very talented, and he is the same Tianyan holy body as himself. The granddaughter broke through the early stage of the gathering spirit realm at a young age, and has the Xuanian holy vein, and also carries a remnant soul of the king by her side. In just 35 years, so much has happened. She needs to fit in quickly. Okay, then go back. Zhang Chushuan smiled slightly and led people home. This time I left, and I also took the entire Dark Guard with me. As for Mushuigu, Zhang Chushuan decided to seal it up temporarily, and when he had the ability later, he would take it away entirely. After all, it has a different meaning. You can't use the gliding wing as you did when you came back, you have to make a detour through a slit to cross the ferocious beast mountain range, and with the large number of people, it is destined to consume time. However, with Nangong Mushui, a great cultivator of the spirit realm, this journey is very easy. When Zhang Chushuan and his party returned to the Zhang mansion, the golden crow in the sky was just going down. Although the Zhang family is a family, there are only 10 people in the second and third generations combined, and only about 20 people with the second generation of relatives. Zhang Chushuan was happy today, and let people set up 2 tables of wine and food in the back garden, and a large family of people came together to eat. While waiting for the meal, Zhang Chushuan first introduced Nangong Mushui to everyone. Everyone was stunned. This woman who looks young and abnormal, sinks into a wild goose, and has an extraordinary temperament. It was actually their Zhang family's mother, Zhang Chushuan's wife. I finally understand why the eldest brother is so handsome and hotter than the other 3 brothers, Zhang said with pity. This was immediately exchanged for Nangong Li's eye-killing. How? I'm your mother, I've failed you. Quote. Nope. No. Quote. Zhang Jin Shishan was not afraid of the earth, but he was afraid of this mother, and quickly denied the 3 consecutive attacks. Her appearance made the atmosphere of the scene much more relaxed. Nangong Mushui snorted, and laughed, but she was not so restrained. Although she is scary because of her high rank, she is still a girl who is less than 30 years old at heart. Good job. Zhang Chushuan gave Zhang Jingxi a look. Average. Zhang Jingxi showed a proud little expression. Next, everyone got to know Nangong Mushui one after another. After the atmosphere was harmonious, Zhang Jingshuan reported what happened during the day. Someone from the Burning Incense Valley is coming, you took it directly. Zhang Chushuan was a little surprised. Listening to Zhang Jingshuan's meaning, Mercy Hua did not directly take action against Zhang Mansion, but wanted to hold him accountable first. As a result, Zhang Yanran shot directly and got people done with one move. Is your own granddaughter so rigid? Father, shouldn't Yan Ran run into trouble? Zhang Jingshuan saw Zhang Chushuan's expression and immediately misunderstood. Zhang Yanran's mouth moved, wanting to say something. But Zhang Chushuan is a little faster than her. Trouble. Nope. No. Quote. Zhang Chushuan stretched out his finger and shook it. Son, you don't know anything about the strength of my Zhang family. With that, Zhang Chushuan gave Nangong Mushui a look. Nangong Mushui smiled. She understood that this was Zhang Chushuan's intention to give her the opportunity to establish the majesty of the mother of the family. Fantasy world, strength is respected. It's just 3 9-pin sects, you really don't have to take it seriously. Nangong Mushui spoke domineeringly, and raised her hand at the same time. Rumble. For a time, the aura in the garden rioted, frantically rushing to Nangong Mushui. In the next moment, everyone's eyes widened. Even Nangong Lu and Nangong Li are no exception. Reiki armor. Great cultivator of the incarnation spirit realm. 14%. Chapter 56. The strength of the whole clan has leapt, and then opened the treasure chest. In the fantasy world, time can be precious or worthless. Jaden realm Zhenren has a lifespan of 500 years, and sometimes it takes several years to retreat. The Divine Mansion realm True Monarch has a 1,000-year lifespan, and it takes longer to break through the realm in retreat. For cultivators above the Divine Mansion realm, time is even less valuable, and if nothing major happens, they can remain in retreat. But for those who travel from Earth, every day is precious. Now more than 6 days have passed since the whole people crossed. Nanyangzhou, Lintang County, Qingchuanfu, Dongxing County, Lingxia Town. Zongfu backyard, in the middle room. Zhang Chushuan was in a pool of blood, and the aura around him surged. At a certain moment, he suddenly opened his eyes, and a red light flashed in the dark pupils. 67 blood tricks, Cheng. Zhang Chushuan exhaled a cloudy breath and slowly stood up from the pool of blood. Under the candlelight around him, his muscles were angular, as if they could glow. It's been the 5th day in the blink of an eye. Zhang Chushuan wiped the blood from his body with a special square towel, with thought in his eyes. 4 days have passed since Nangong Mushui returned to the family and showed the strength of the transformation spirit realm. At that time, the Zhang family had the feeling of dreaming. Although they think Zhang Chushuan is the hiding boss. But that's just speculation, with a joking meaning, or an expectation. I really know how awesome my family is. That's a dream. The Zhang family has a great cultivator of the transformation spirit realm sitting in the town. 9-pin sect and 9-pin family, what is that? With this confidence, everyone in the Zhang family has become more confident in their behavior these days, and they are completely consistent in Lingxia town. This impact is transmitted to the following. Within the town of Lingxia, no one felt that there was anything wrong. They didn't know that the Zhang family had a great cultivator of the spirit realm, but they knew that there were gathering spirit realm cultivators in the Zhang family. On that day, Zhang Yanran defeated the demeanor of the elder of the Burning Fragrance Valley with one move, but many people witnessed it with their own eyes. After a few days of fermentation, this matter has spread throughout Dongxing County. Even the 3rd generation of disciples of the Zhang family still has such a demeanor, so the 2nd generation of disciples, as well as the mysterious old man Zhang, will be weak. No one knows the answer. Only the brain is supplemented, and then it becomes more and more secretive. When the county order of Dongxing County heard about this, he also took the initiative to send someone over to send a message, saying that if the Zhang family thought that their strength was okay, they could immediately go to the county seat to authenticate the Jupin family. At this, Zhang Chushuan smiled indifferently and then threw the letter aside. The other party's name is invite, but it is actually a temptation. Most of them are jointly instructed by the 4 major Jupin families in the county, and they want to know how the strength of the Zhang family is. With Nangong Mushui present, it is easy to certify the Jupin family. But this is a whole card, and it is not yet time to use it. Following the normal process, the Zhang family only had Zhang Yan dying a cultivator in the early stage of the gathering spirit realm, which was not qualified enough. This matter can only be trusted. But he is not in a hurry. There is still time. In another 7 days, all members will be able to break through to the gathering spirit realm. At that time, it will be when my Zhang family really debuts. Zhang Chushuan's eyes flashed, opened the virtual panel, and entered the family section. Family grade. Quasi 9 products, not into the stream, 9 products to 1 product is the highest. Family members. Zhang Chushuan. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 67 blood tricks. Nangong Mushui. Early stage of the transformation spirit realm. Nangong Lu. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 54 blood tricks. Nangong Li. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 54 blood tricks. Second generation. Zhang Jingshuan. 11 layers of refining body realm, 66 blood tricks. Wife Sha Jingcho. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 36 blood tricks. Zhang Jinhao. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 66 blood skills. Wife Lu Xiaoxiao. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Zhang Jingxin. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 66 blood tricks. Wife Yu Xiaochen. 11 layers of refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Zhang Jingxin. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 36 blood tricks. Wife Qian Kaifeng. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Zhang Jingxi. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 66 blood tricks. 3 generations. Zhang Yanmo. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 36 blood tricks. Zhang Yanren. Early stage of the gathering spirit realm. Zhang Yanbi. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Zhang Yanting. 11 layers of refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Zhang Yangxin. 11 layers of the refining body realm, 24 blood tricks. Family subordinates. Deputy Captain of the Outer Court Guard, Zhang Qinlong, 30 years old, refining the body realm, 10 layers, 1 trick. Zhang Qinhu. Deputy Captain of the Zhang Family Mercenary Team, 29, refining the body realm, 10 layers, 1 trick. Click on the name to see the specific situation and loyalty value. Family Treasure House. Family Power. Lingxia Town, 100%, Shajia Village, Dongxing County, 11%. Family Martial Arts. Ice Casting Dao Scripture, Ice Heart Immortal Scripture. The lower grade of the Earth, the Dragon Decision. Yellow rank lower pin, Red Yan Tiger Decisive Achievement. Hostile Forces. Burning Incense Valley, Xingyu Sect, Xichao Sect. Taiyuan County Sun Family, Juku County City Wu Family. P.S. After being on the shelf, this content will be updated from time to time in the work. Today the author Jun will update a chapter of the content on the shelf for free. Don't think that the author Jun is in the water word count ha. For the quasi 9-pin family, absolutely gorgeous data. These days, all the core members of the Zhang family and some loyal subordinates rely on swallowing Zon Bing python meat to refine their bodies, relying on Zon Bing python blood to know everything. The result is just as he thought in Mushuegu that day. It's just that there are drawbacks. Although through synchronous skills, the members have reached the level of perfection in comprehension of the exercises. But the strength has soared too much, and it is somewhat difficult to control. In order to let everyone adapt to the skyrocketing strength as soon as possible, Zhang Chushuan has not paid less attention to the chat board these days, and finally traded a good thing yesterday. An uplifting formation, the gravity array. Put in the spirit stone, you can change the gravity within the formation range. Practicing martial arts under several times the gravity, the members not only quickly adapted to the soaring power, but also became more and more proficient in mastering martial arts. Zhang Chushuan was also stuck in the gravity array during this time. Although you don't need to practice martial arts by yourself. But to improve strength, you still need to master and adapt. But today, after wiping his body, he did not rush to the martial arts training ground. 7 days is almost enough. It's time for the second chest opening. This time, I don't know how many people can get good things. Zhang Chushuan looked forward to it. At this point, a prompt appears in the middle of the virtual panel. It's 7 days, and the new treasure chest has been distributed. 14%. Chapter 57. Treasure Exploration Card, Old Versailles. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. In the panel space, there is still a treasure chest emitting golden light lying quietly. Zhang Chushuan took it out with his mind, and then reached out a little. Wow, the chest is divided into 10 and suspended in midair. Zhang Chushuan didn't think much and still chose 2. For the first time, this number made him a European emperor once. Bang! The treasure chest opened, and a ray of light shot out of it, turning into a card suspended in front of Zhang Chushuan. The other chests disappeared instantly. Zhang Chushuan's attention was all on the card in front of him. Xuanji Treasure Exploration Card. After using it, you can explore a rare treasure below the ground level within a radius of 10 miles. Zhang Chushuan grabbed the card in his hand, and the card information immediately came to mind. It's actually a card similar to a treasure tracker. Unfortunately, the exploration range is not large, only within a radius of 10 miles, 5,000 meters. Even Lingxia town is not out, and the exploration effect is not strong. You can only find items below the stairs. Zhang Chushuan was a little disappointed. Although this time he is European again, with a 1 in 10 probability of winning. But this card is a chicken rib. No, this card seems to be used differently. Zhang Chushuan pinched the card and suddenly opened up new ideas. Can he use this card the next time he unpacks the box? Then the card should be able to draw the Zon rank items in 10 boxes. If you change to someone else, it is a 1-for-1 and a wasted opportunity to open the box. But he's different. Discover consumable special items, and you can choose to double the following rewards for consumption. 1. Xuanji Treasure Exploration Card X 100. 2. Tier Treasure Exploration Card X 10. 3. Heavenly Rank Treasure Exploration Card X1. 100-fold reward did appear. Zhang Chushuan smiled slightly, did not hesitate, and chose 2. After 7 days, he can break through the Gathering Spirit Realm. At that time, the probability of the treasure chest will become 7 yellow ranks, 2 Zon ranks, and 1 earth rank. 10 earth tier treasure exploration cards are enough for him to select the earth tier treasure chest 10 times. I hope I'm not mistaken. Zhang Chushuan put the card away, then opened the chat board and entered the regional channel. At this time, the number of people in the upper right of the channel has dropped to 9,933. This meant that in the past 7 days, 67 young patriarch crossers had died in his area. That's a pretty good number. The degree of danger in the fantasy world can be seen. It can be seen that the crosser is a high-risk job, not as beautiful as most people think. However, although the decrease in the number of people shows the cruelty of the fantasy world. But there are also some circumstances that make Zhang Chushuan realize that his ideas are biased, and no longer despise the fellow crossers because he is the ancestor of the beginning, coupled with a 100-fold reward ability. In this world, there are always people who are lucky against the sky. For example, in the world chat area, someone discusses a person named Lu Tong. This Lu Tong is the young patriarch of the Lu family, and the first treasure chest opened a special physique, a 100-grass spirit body. The 100-grass spirit body is not a wood-based spirit body, but a furnace body. That's right, it's a male body. If a woman doubles with this physique, she can get a lot of benefits. Moreover, the herb spirit body has its own affinity, which can make people feel close. Lu Tong is also a smart person, and immediately reports to the family after getting the spirit body, and then asks the family to report to the county seat and county order. The county seat was reported to the prefecture city, and the Fucheng was reported to the state city. After layer by layer, the news reached the ears of a princess, and Lu Tong was finally recruited as a horse. Having become the county master and a spirit body, Lu Tong took the opportunity to propose to become the patriarch of the family. Naturally, no one in the family dares to have an opinion on this. In addition to Lu Tong's explosion of luck and the existence of another way, some people also feel like they have taken the template of the protagonist of the novel. There was a man named Yi Mo, who opened the box and opened a Xuanji healing pill. For many people, this pill is a chicken rib, and can only be kept as a life-saving card in the future. But Yi Mo is different. He has a father, Yi Badian, who used to be the first genius of the family, and stepped into the gathering spirit realm at the age of 30, but unfortunately he was mistakenly injured in Dantian when he was compared in the county and became a waste. Because he couldn't accept this fact, Yi Badian's spirit had a problem, and he went crazy from then on, and he couldn't even exert the 10 strength of the refining body realm. Yi Mo gave the pill to Yi Badian and repaired the latter's Dantian. Yi Badian's strength returned to the gathering spirit realm, and his brain suddenly returned to normal. At this time, Yi Mo proposed to be the patriarch. The good son wants to be the patriarch, and Yi Badian, as a father, immediately entered the elder hall to convince people with reason force. So Yi Mo also became the patriarch. In addition, there are many other strange situations. Zhang Chushuan would have appeared for a long time before the patriarch, and in this Xuandian continent, tens of thousands appeared in the first week. I think that after the second batch of treasure chests is opened, this number will increase even faster. Although my advantage is very obvious, it does not mean that I can't help but be beaten by all people. What if a certain young patriarch is inexplicably favored by the great emperor and ascends to the sky in one step? So you can't let your guard down. After all, I am the first to become a patriarch. That is, I have a hundredfold reward ability. That is, there is a Tao level invincible realm. It's really nothing. Zhang Chushuan let out a melancholy sigh. It's also old Versailles. 15%. Chapter 58. Ding Chuchun is furious and wants to slaughter the town. One free chapter, 14,000 flowers. The fellow traversers are so powerful, I cut the wave leak ah. Quote. It should be a sheep. It's not right either. Quote. It's always about achieving a good win-win situation, right? After watching fellow villagers chat for a long time in the chat group area, Zhang Chushuan gradually regained the fun of diving on the earth. In the family, he had to carry the patriarch's shelf. But in private or with my wife, my mentality has become much younger. Now, Zhang Chushuan has his eyes on the good things that the fellow villagers have just unboxed. The supply of Zonbing python meat in the early stage of the gathering spirit realm is limited, the amount is enough, the high price will get 5 trading opportunities, those who have demand want to buy it quickly. Zhang Chushuan typed the next line in the chat area. The whole area was suddenly silent. Immediately followed, completely lively. Big guy haunting, worship. Big guy haunting, worship. Big guy, X10087. Hey, the meat of the fierce beast in the early stage of the gathering spirit realm. The big guy is the big guy. We are still pondering how to become the patriarch, and the big guy has begun to eat the meat of the fierce beast of the gathering spirit realm. Quote. Upstairs, the big guy is not eating, but selling. Is the amount enough? The big guy slaughtered the nest of fierce beasts in the gathering spirit realm. Quote. As we all know, trading panel transactions cannot be fraudulent, and the big guys definitely have dry goods. With you saying, what I want to say is that the effect of the fierce beast meat of the gathering spirit realm on the martial artists in the early and middle stages of the refining body realm is comparable to the quenching body pill. And there is no need to worry about erysipelas, which is equivalent to the ultimate quenching body pill, and there is also a slight quenching effect on the later stage of the refining body realm. As long as the amount is large, eating meat will become stronger. This thing is also too good, right? Quote. Good fellow, I'm directly a good fellow. If there is more meat, wouldn't it be one step to the sky? What's the matter? I'll bid first. Big guy, do you want the yellow rank fire gooseling knife? Yes, I don't talk about martial arts upstairs, I. Quote. For a while, bidding was opened in the chat area. Zhang Chushuan looked at it for a moment and didn't reply to anyone. Different fierce beast meats have different effects on martial artists with different physiques and on martial artists who practice different exercises. For example, Zonbing python meat, for the Zhang family who cultivated the dragon determination, was a supreme tonic, and a large piece was equivalent to a high-grade quenching pill. But for ordinary warriors, only the early and middle stages have the effect of quenching pills, and the advantage is that there is no erysipelas. If it is a fire attribute physique, or a person who cultivates fire attribute exercises, Zonbing python can also have the opposite effect. But that's from the big picture. Zonbing python meat is definitely the most precious treasure of refining the body during this time period, and it is not worried about selling. Zhang Chushuan thinks, maximize benefits. It's only morning, so there's no rush to trade. Let the bullets fly for a while. Meanwhile, incense-burning valley, a secret place of retreat, has many disciples. Boom. In front of a mountain, a huge rock exploded without warning, revealing a huge hole behind it. The smoke and dust are windless and automatically disperse in all directions. Inside the entrance of the cave, an old man dressed in Taoist robes with a beard and gray eyebrows came out. Master. A young man and a beautiful young woman came to the old man and saluted respectfully, with a little timidity in their eyes. The old man seemed to be in a bad mood, and responded very perfunctorily, his eyes swept around. What about your 4 junior disciples? Why don't you see and wait for me? Quote. Without finding his goal, the old man's brows suddenly wrinkled. The young man and the beautiful young woman looked at each other, and the former smiled bitterly and bowed down and said, accompanied by the 3rd junior brother, the 4th junior brother went back to Lingxia town province to kiss. Quote. After hesitating, the young man did not dare to tell the truth. Provincial relatives. The old man did not let go when he got the answer, but had a tendency to become more irritable. Without my consent, they actually dare to go back to the province, are they going to rebel? Quote. My Ding Chuchun's words don't work, let them wait for me to come out, don't you understand? The attitude of the old man frightened the young and the young woman. It's not like the Dao Bone immortal wind they have seen in the past, the kind master. Yes, it was the fourth junior brother who asked the third junior brother to accompany him back. The beautiful young woman raised her mouth. Boss, if it weren't for his master calculating me back then, where would it be his turn to be in charge of this position, and how could he use the resources he mastered to break through to the late stage of the gathering spirit realm one step ahead of me? Ridiculous. Ding Chuchun's words were full of disdain, and he didn't even take the head of this sect into account. After venting a few words, he forced himself to hold back his emotions and said coldly, "When did they leave, but did you say when they will come back?" Quote. The young man and the young woman looked at each other, and they both read the helplessness in each other's eyes. The master's attention to the fourth junior disciple seemed to be even higher than they imagined. Just because people are wood spirits. Well, as long as the spirit body is lucky, breaking through the incarnation spirit realm is a sure thing, and the difference is only time. Even the 8-rank sect would attach extreme importance to spiritual geniuses, not to mention a 9-rank sect. Moreover, the wood spirit body is also suitable for alchemy. But understanding is one thing, accepting is another. Suddenly, the young man and the young woman were a little glad that this fourth junior brother had died. Otherwise, in the hearts of their masters, where will there be their place? Master. The young man and the young woman understood that the matter could no longer be hidden, and were about to tell the truth, but they heard Ding Chuchun wave his hand and say, "It's okay, I'll personally go to Nalingxia town." Quote. At the beginning, in order to refine the pill, Ding Chuchun went to the Fierce Beast mountain range to find a taste of elixir, and happened to meet Li Zhaofeng near Lingxia town. He is familiar with the location of Lingxia town. Wait a minute, master. Seeing that Ding Chuchun was leaving, the young man hurriedly stopped him and said, "Master, in fact, the third junior brother and the fourth junior brother have already been killed." Quote. What did you say? Ding Chuchun trembled, and his whole person was like a lightning strike. You said Li Zhaofeng is dead. Ding Chuchun came to the young man and grabbed his shoulder with one hand. The young man was in pain, and his face couldn't help but turn pale. But seeing Ding Chuchun's eyes that wanted to eat people, he could only endure the pain and said quickly, "The person who killed people was the Zhang family in Lingxia town, and the family of the fourth junior brother was in a hostile relationship." Quote. The family feud has implicated the fourth junior brother. The sect master sent Elder Mercywa to inquire about the situation, but he was also detained by the other party. The other party is not easy to mess with. The sect master, he went to the Yunduan mountain range this morning at the invitation of the sect master of the Xingyu sect to discuss how to deal with the Zhang family. Do you think you wait? Afraid that Ding Chuchun would not have the patience to listen, the young man told the situation in one breath. After listening to it, Ding Chuchun was completely out of the mood. Dead. Actually dead. The old man hasn't tried yet, hope is completely gone. Quote. Ding Chuchun's face was pale, and the spirit of his whole body seemed to be evacuated in an instant. He staggered back a step, a hint of death in his eyes. But in the next moment, this death intent was replaced by boundless killing intent. Well, a good Zhang family in Lingxia town actually dares to destroy the old man's hope. It seems that the old man has to take that step. In that case, let you pay it back with your lives. The old man will not only destroy you, but also ask millions of people in the entire town of Lingxia to come and bury your Zhang family. Ding Chuchun's body suddenly appeared with an incomparably cold black chi, and his face was gloomy and terrifying. At this moment, the young man and the young woman finally felt that something was wrong. This master is so strange. Could it be that the cultivation went wrong and derived the heart demon? You two, come with me. Without giving the two a chance to think more, Ding Chuchun grabbed them one by one, and then swept towards a short distance. You accompany the master to ride the crane together. Today, Lingxia town will be destroyed. 15%. Chapter 59 Waho Wu Yenshi's correct opening posture. First order. Boom. Accompanied by a sonic boom, Li Chuchun carried a disciple in one hand and quickly walked through the burning incense valley, leaving behind one afterimage after another. Before a cup of tea, Ding Chuchun stopped in front of a waterfall and swept his eyes over a stone monument next to him. The stone tablet reads, 3 big characters, Spirit Beast Garden. This is the place where spirit beasts are cultivated or fed in the incense-burning valley. Fierce beasts and spirit beasts, like beasts and poultry, whether they are bloodline levels or strength levels, are essentially the same, but they have different attitudes towards humans. As a 9-rank sect, although there is no powerful guardian spirit beast, there are some ordinary mounts. And Ding Chuchun, as a great elder, even had a spirit crane whose strength had reached the peak of the human rank as a flying mount. Great Elder. The guardian disciple of the Spirit Beast Garden was a personal disciple of the second elder, and he had long discovered the great movement of Ding Chuchun's arrival, and hurried to the gate of the Spirit Beast Garden to greet him. Ding Chuchun directly ignored him, put a hand in front of his mouth, and made a special whistling sound. Ha! A long roar sounded in the Spirit Beast Park. A blazing white crane with a pure white body, black on the top of its head and neck, surrounded by aura, and a body length of more than 3 meters flapped its wings and flew far away. When this white crane was about to arrive in front of the waterfall, Ding Chuchun took 2 disciples and leapt up and landed firmly on its back. Go, fly southwest. Meanwhile, Lingxia Town, Zongfu, Council Hall. Zhang Chushuan sat on the main seat, enjoying Nangong Lu's massage, while Nangong Mushui sat on his side. Nangong Mushui got down and sat Zhang Yanran. I didn't say it a few days ago, but that day Yanran will directly attack the people of the Burning Incense Valley. It must be you, right? Zhang Chushuan's slightly fierce gaze swept over Zhang Yan's hairpin. The dark green light on the hairpin flashed, and Wu Yanxi's figure appeared in the center of the hall, immediately becoming the only one in this one, with a battle armor on his body, and his beautiful face revealed 3 points of heroism and 3 points of arrogance, with grace and nobility, and his own solemnity, which made people dare not force their eyes. But in the face of the reincarnation of Zhang Chushuan, the quasi-emperor, she was very careful, arguing with a hint of stubbornness. It is the little woman's suggestion that it is right, for the enemy who comes to attack, naturally the sooner you kill it, the better. 35. If Tianzhao wants to rise, it will be accompanied by boundless killing. Wu Yanxi thought that Zhang Chushuan was going to be held accountable, and felt wronged. Zhang Chushuan didn't actually blame, otherwise he wouldn't have come a few days later. The reason why I want to turn over this account now is just to pave the way for what will be done next. That's right, but as a teacher, you should be cautious and not more radical than a disciple. So, how can I rest assured that you will go out with Yan Ran to find cold things in the future? 99. Zhang Chushuan had some harshness in his tone. Wu Yanxi pursed her mouth. The reincarnation boss of the quasi-emperor instructed, borrowing that she is a gentian and did not dare to return the mouth. Besides, she also understood those truths. This is not sleeping for a long time, want to move the body. Forget it this time. Seeing that the foreshadowing was almost over, Zhang Chushuan did not dwell on this matter anymore. He casually threw a piece of jade jane to Wu Yanxi and said lightly, forget about the matter of personality. I was in a hurry to leave that day, but I didn't have the ability to teach your students in graduate school, so let's experiment now. Wu Yanxi dragged Yu Jian with her soul power, and frowned slightly. I am naturally not comparable to you, senior, but as the sect master of the 4th rank sect, my disciple level is definitely not bad. So he taught a white-eyed wolf who feasted on his own body and deceived the teacher and destroyed the ancestor. Zhang Chushuan immediately spoke up. Nangong Mushui's children immediately cast an admiring gaze. That's a villain. Wu Yanxi's face turned red, and he argued with his neck. That scoundrel almost killed me, doesn't it mean that his strength is actually okay? Maybe tilde operator. Zhang Chushuan shrugged, looking too lazy to argue. Wu Yanxi suddenly cried angrily. If she shelved it, she would definitely use the sword in her hand to make people understand what was right. But in the face of Zhang Chushuan, that can't work. Give it a try. Wu Yanxi's spirit invaded Yu Jian and read the information at a glance. Dragon determination. The exercises are good, but the level is a little low. Wu Yanxi instinctively commented, and then looked at Zhang Chushuan and said in doubt, what do you need me to do? Deduce this exercise and see how far you can gain it. Zhang Chushuan said seemingly casually, but a flash of heat flashed in his eyes. Wu Yanxi was a king-level powerhouse in front of him, and he was only one step away from the saint of the Dharma realm, and the exercises he practiced were either divine tricks or king's treasures. In addition, she is still from the 4th rank sect, and her experience must not be simple. Zhang Chushuan had already noticed that Wu Yanxi seemed to have added a very powerful identity to his brain, so he had been respectfully calling his senior. Then this senior can't even be inferior to this junior. Go and ask for some martial arts, right? Of course, the most important point is that the Zhang family's cultivation of the dragon is definitely enough, and Nangong Mushui and Zhang Yanran even have the Ice Heart Immortal scripture. In addition, when Wu Yanxi began to teach Zhang Yanran various martial arts, Zhang Chushuan could learn the second meeting through the synchronous skill second. So, no need to beg. But Zhang Chushuan now wants to have some powerful martial arts, so what should he do? With a quick move, he thought that he could let Wu Yanxi deduce the transformation dragon duel. I don't want to think about the Dharma realm divine technique, isn't the king's treasure book too much? The equal dragon decisive grade will be higher, and the supporting martial arts derived will be more powerful, enough for the Zhang family to use for a long time. And the exercises that have been rededuced, can they be increased 100 times again? Zhang Chushuan is looking forward to it. Deduction exercises. Test my ability to comprehend and teach. Okay, I'll take this test. 35. Wu Yanxi had no doubt about him. In her eyes, Zhang Chushuan was a quasi-emperor reincarnated powerhouse who could instantly transform the ice-casting Dao into a strong man, and he would definitely not have other careful thoughts. I wonder how far Empress Wu can deduce this exercise. Nangong Mushui asked curiously. Zhang Chushuan couldn't wait to give Nangong Mushui a fragrant kiss. That's a question he wanted to ask too. But considering the status of senior, you can't ask. Well, I'll guess. 35. Wu Yanxi gave Nangong Mushui face, carried his hands on his back, and calculated, Jaden realm real person, refine a golden pill in the body, refine the 3 souls and 7 spirits, and turn them into one before opening the golden pill into a divine mansion for the newborn soul baby to live in. 99. Divine mansion realm true monarch, strengthen the divine mansion, promote the growth of the soul baby, and when the soul infant turns into a divine soul, you can enter the divine realm. Distract the divine realm. Exercise the divine soul. As long as you survive the 3 divine soul tribulations, you can enter the nerves and become a king, that is, my previous realm. This transformation dragon is definitely a great exercise method under the earth, and there is only the method of refining the 3 spirits. Different exercises have different paths. I need to thoroughly understand the refining body realm, gathering spirit realm, transforming spirit building, and the method of knotting pills before I can continue to deduce. About 3 days. 3 days I can deduce this technique to the Saint Lord level, but the grade is not guaranteed. 99. Although Wu Yanxi himself was a supreme king when he was at his strongest, he was one step away from the law phase realm. But this does not mean that she can create the royal treasure book at will. Even the Saint Lord level exercises are not easy to create. That is, the dragon transformation itself has reached the earth level, and the upper limit can be raised to this level. If Wu Yanxi was given a book of black water, she might also deduce to the Zan rank. The lower limit, not too low, not too high. 3 days. A flash of anticipation flashed in Zhang Chushuan's eyes. Afterwards, everyone chatted again. Time passes inadvertently. Grandpa, Sister Mo and I will go to the outside of the West Weifang city after the appointment time, can we retire first? 99. Zhang Yanran observed the sky several times and couldn't help but ask Zhang Chushuan. It's from 7 to 9 in the morning. 0 asking for flowers. Zhang Chushuan looked up at the outside, found that the time was almost over, and quickly waved his hand. Go, go. Have fun. Meanwhile, 99. In the sky northeast of Lingxia town, a crane chirped in the distance. As one of the 3 major 9-pin sects in Dongchuan province, the Burning Incense Valley sect is located in a very good geographical location, and is in the center of Dongchuan province. Dongxing County is located in the southwesternmost position of Dongchuan Province, and Lingxia Town is located in the southwesternmost position of Dongxing County, close to the Fierce Beast Mountain Range. The area of Dongchuan Province is similar to some large provinces on the earth in the previous life. From the Incense Valley to the town of Lingxia, it takes most of the day for ordinary people to ride horses or walk. If you have to sleep at night, this time will be longer. But if you are riding a flying spirit beast, then this time only needs a mere hour. Master, what are we going to do next? Hit the Zhang family directly. On the back of the blazing white crane, Ding Chuchun's apprentice Fan Muhua bowed down to inquire, looking nervous. Do you look at me like an idiot? Ding Chuchun asked coldly. On the way to Lingxia town, he had already learned about what had happened in the past few days. The 3 generations of women in the Zhang family can win the Mercy Flower in one move. Can he achieve this mid-stage peak of the Gathering Spirit realm? 0. Shoo, shoo, shoo. I said that it is not enough to destroy the Zhang family, I also want the entire Lingxia town to be buried. Accompanied by a chilling laugh. Ding Chuchun's dark pupils emerged with a sense of darkness, condescendingly looking down on the entire Lingxia town, and finally locking the location on a river channel in the northwest of Lingxia town. Hey, Go there. Ding Chuchun commanded the blazing crane to fly along the northern wall of Lingxia town towards the west. At the door of Zhang Mansion, Zhang Yan dyed his hairpin. Wu Yanxi felt something, and glanced into the air. In the middle of the gathering spirit realm, and he is already dying, he should not be an enemy of the Zhang family. And with seniors here, what danger will there be? Thinking of Zhang Chushuan, Wu Yanxi didn't think too much. If Zhang Chushuan opens the virtual panel, it can indeed be observed after someone with evil intentions enters the sphere of influence. But the problem is that Lin Chuchun and his party are outside the boundaries of Lingxia town. And outside this town, not counting within the Zhang Chushuan forces, it belongs to the Yu kingdom. So Zhang Chushuan didn't notice it in the slightest. Li Chuchun and his party soon came directly above the river, and the blazing crane began to descend in height. Okay. When there were still 20 meters left from the surface of the water, Lin Chuchun asked Blazing Crane to stop and take out a cyan medicine bottle. Seeing this medicine bottle, Fan Muhua and his junior sister Shi Qingzi's expressions changed drastically, and they couldn't help but exclaim, "Bewildered divine beast powder." In this world, there is a pill called the Beast Introduction Pill. The Beast Induction Pill will emit a strange Dan fragrance, attracting fierce beasts to swallow it. That effect is similar to a person who has been hungry for 7 days and 7 nights seeing a roast chicken. The Beast Introduction Pill can be any grade. The higher the grade, the wider the range of the Danxiang Walk, and the stronger the strength of the demon beast. And this mythical beast powder is the product of the failure of the Beast Introduction Pill, and it does not become a Dan. The Dan has the ability to attract beasts, but it will confuse the mind of the fierce beast, making it irritable and crazy. The effect is similar to when the person who has been hungry for 7 days and 7 nights wants to eat roast chicken, and you take him away. Annoying. The bottle in Ding Chuchun's hand was his attempt to attract beast pills when he attacked the Zon rank alchemist, and although he failed to become a bewildering beast powder, his grade reached the quasi-Zon rank. Now, he's going to sprinkle the powder upstream. Then more than 10 miles of rivers will be affected, among which the water beast will go crazy. Not only that, but across the river is the ferocious beast mountain range. Among them, the fierce beasts will also go crazy. Among these fierce beasts, there will also be the existence of the incarnation spirit realm. At that time, this will evolve into a beast tide. Really want to destroy the entire town of Lingxia. 35 beggars. 15%. Chapter 60. The crisis suddenly appeared, and Wu Yanxi was shocked. First order. Master, do you really want to slaughter millions of people? Fan Muhua swallowed his saliva and asked. Shi Qingzi next to him also had an incredulous expression. Lingxia town is adjacent to the Fierce Beast mountain range, and it is an important town of fierce beasts, with a permanent population that may be close to 1 million, not to mention the floating population. Once the fierce beast tide is triggered, 90% of the 9 martial artists will die in this catastrophe. Burning Incense Valley is a sect of alchemists, whose purpose is to be kind to people and generate wealth with anger. Ding Chuchun wants to destroy the Zhang family. This matter is normal in this world. Say it out for revenge. No one said anything. Millions of people can be buried together. Even the evil sect demon sect rarely does such a thing. What about killing 1 million? It's better than me dying, right? Ding Chuchun sneered, his voice full of indifference. His appearance made Fan Muhua and Shi Qingzi feel very unfamiliar. But the two of them had more doubts in their hearts. Zhang Fu killed Ding Chuchun's 3rd disciple and 4th disciple and had a grudge against each other. But why did Ding Chuchun link this matter to his own life and death? Master, Shi Qingzi wanted to persuade. If this matter is done and the news spreads again, the Burning Incense Valley Bakang will be regarded as a demon Dao, and it will definitely be held accountable by the upper sect, 990, and maybe even the Dao will be destroyed. Ding Chuchun is venting his personal anger at the future of the entire Burning Incense Valley. But when she opened her mouth, Ding Chuchun suddenly made a move, sprinkled a pill into her mouth, and then sent it with spiritual power. Then, Ding Chuchun took advantage of Fan Muhua's reaction, stretched out another one, pinched his neck, and also fed him a pill. Cough. Ahem. Both coughed uncomfortably. Ding Chuchun's face was gloomy, and he looked down at the 2 apprentices with a sneer, and said, "What you swallowed is the 3-day extermination pill. Do you know what this means?" 3 days of extermination pill. Fan Muhua and Shi Qingzi trembled. People have 3 souls and 7 spirits, 3 souls in the spirit, and 7 spirits in the material. The 3-day exterminator is a high-grade yellow tier poison pill, and once swallowed, it will poison any 2 of the 7 after 3 days. At that time, the poisoned person will feel the pain of shredding the soul. After the pain, the poisoned person will become more and more sluggish due to the lack of two spirits, until finally he becomes a fool, unable to speak, unable to move, and finally dies. This elixir is divided into 21 variations according to the two different injuries, and there are also 21 corresponding antidotes. Once the antidote is taken wrong, it will immediately stimulate toxicity. Ding Chuchun actually swallowed this poison for them. You are not my master. Who are you? Shi Qingzi's eyes looked at Ding Chuchun in horror. If it was really Ding Chuchun, it would be impossible to treat her like this. Whether I am your master or not, you will know soon. Don't want to die, then obediently cooperate with me. Ding Chuchun didn't care what the expressions of the two were, reached out and opened the bottle cap, and sprinkled the bewildering beast powder into the river below. The powder dispersed in midair against the wind and fell into the river. Ju, whoosh, ha, next, let the blood and killing fill this town. Ding Chuchun licked his lips, his eyes full of desire and ferocity. Lingxia Town, adjacent to the Fierce Beast mountain range, is an important town after resisting the Fierce Beast, covering a large area, surrounded by city walls, and a height of more than 10 meters. Lingxia Town originally had 5 Fang cities, 3 of which were run by the original 3 major families, and were set up in the 3 districts of the southeast and north. The 4th is Xifeng City, which is jointly operated by some foreign businessmen and large mercenary teams, and is set up in the west district of Lingxia Town. This Xifeng City is also known as Inner Xifeng City. Originally, outside the west gate of Lingxia Town was a large river that came from the north and flowed to the south. To the west of the big river is the Fierce Beast mountain range, and to the east is the town of Lingxia. However, no major events have happened over the years, and as time passed, some small Fierce Beast mercenary groups joined forces with scattered cultivators to create a new city between Dahe and the west gate of Lingxia Town, which was for Weixifang City. To the west of Weixifang City is the moat. On the moat, there is a bridge with a length of more than 500 meters and a width of about 10 meters. Standing on the bridge, you can see that there are scattered fishing boats and ferries on the river. Yanran, Lingxia Town is so big. It's much bigger than our Yanqi Town, and this Weifang City is even livelier than our central Fang City. On the moat bridge, Zhang Yanran and Zhang Yangxin were by Mo Xiaoxiao's side, and the 3 were looking at the river. Mo Xiaoxiao spoke with envy. Yanqi Town Lingxia Town is a town. But the former is only a small town, with a permanent population of less than 200,000. Yanqi Town also has 3 major families, although there is competition with each other, but more cooperation. There is only one Yanqi Town Fang City, which is opened in the very center of the town, named Zongyang City. But this central Fang City, after Mo Xiaoxiao compared, found that even the Xifeng City outside the Lingxia Town that he just visited could not compare. But this Weixifang City ranks at the bottom of the 5 major Fang cities in Lingxia Town. It's nothing. Zhang Yanran looked at the calm lake and replied, I heard my father say that Grandpa intends to rebuild Lingxia Town. At that time, today's Lingxia Town is only a part of the inner city. The entire town will even be included in the Fierce Beast mountain range. Zhang Yanran had adoration on his face. The Zhang family has today, it is all created by Zhang Chushuan. By now, family building has bound this amazing grandfather, and he is going to build a town. Old man Zhang, it's really amazing tilde operator. Mo Xiaoxiao followed with a sigh. When Zhang Yangxin next to him heard this, a hint of cunning flashed in her eyes, and she coaxed, then sooner or later it will also be your grandfather, don't praise your family so much. What from the family? Mo Xiaoxiao's white cheeks suddenly flew a blush, and whispered, your brother doesn't care about me at all. Do you mean he doesn't accompany you to go shopping? Zhang Yangxin sighed and said helplessly. Isn't that to break through to the gathering spirit realm quickly? After all, it doesn't taste good to be overtaken by my sister. Speaking of this matter, Mo Xiaoxiao felt more and more that the Zhang family was unfathomable. The meat of the fierce beast in the early stage of the gathering spirit realm was taken out like no money, and even she could eat it casually. She had time to think. What kind of fairy family is this? Ha tilde operator. Zhang Yanran chuckled. His face bloomed, elegant and beautiful, and there was a dew of narcissus. The sister in Zhang Yangxin's mouth is not her. Words, it's not quite right. 99. Suddenly, Zhang Yanran's ears sounded Wu Yanxi's voice. Teacher, what's wrong? Zhang Yan's heart tightened. Wu Yanxi is a remnant soul of the king, and with the help of her body, she can slaughter the great cultivator of the spirit realm. What could have happened to her with such strong mood swings? Something big is going to happen. Wu Yanxi's eyes were very solemn. She has been trying to deduce the follow-up exercises of the dragon determination in her hairpin, and has not paid much attention to the outside world. In her cognition, with Zhang Chushuan present, there will be no danger in Lingxia town. But halfway through the exercise, she found that she couldn't calm down. This is the manifestation of the great psychic when he feels a crisis. Big deal. Zhang Yanren became even more nervous in his heart, thinking about whether to go back to the family to find Zhang Chushuan. At this moment, she heard a woman's voice from the upper reaches of the river. "Boss, come back quickly." There was fear in the voice. Zhang Yanren immediately locked the woman's position, and then followed her line of sight to the middle of the river. It's spring in March, the weather is getting a lot hotter, and some fishermen have begun to go down the river to fish. This fish is the love of many warriors, and for ordinary people, it can be sold for a good price. There are not many fishermen now, and the price of a fish is higher than usual. In the middle of the river, a fishing boat is parked. Zhang Yanren saw from a distance that a middle-aged man was struggling to pull a fishing net, but his face was smiling. The face is very splendid. "Son, it's good to be with the early Ala Iron dialect. Son, we are lucky today." The middle-aged man felt that the fishing net in his hand was several times heavier than usual, and smiled at a teenager beside him, his mouth almost grinning at the base of his ear. With this harvest, he can buy an extra piece of fierce beast meat for his son to eat. If his son can quickly reach the triple refining realm, while he is still young, he may be able to go to the Zhang family to try to apply for a preparatory nursing home. That's a golden rice bowl. Who doesn't know that the Zhang family is about to rise? One man is enlightened, and the chicken dog ascends to heaven. This ladder to heaven, you must grasp. 35. I pulled it a few more times, but the fishing net still didn't pull up, and the middle-aged fisherman felt a little less than 4.3 pairs. Although he is just an ordinary threefold martial artist with an unremarkable refining body, there is no reason why he can't pull this fishing net. There are really big guys, the fishing net should also be broken. What the hell is going on here? Boss, come back, come back. At this time, the middle-aged fisherman finally heard the shouts of his mother-in-law. He didn't react for a while, and looked back dumbfounded. Boom. Just then, the middle-aged fisherman heard an explosion behind him. He didn't see it. The water surface about 10 meters away from him suddenly exploded, and the water splashed everywhere for a while. A curtain of water rises to form a huge wave. It's like a signal. Boom, boom. 95. The entire river frequently exploded, one after another. When the middle-aged fisherman turned his head, he happened to see the waves falling and the fishing boat began to rock. Then, his eyes widened. I saw a huge figure in the water curtain in the distance. The figure was obviously only a part, with a body 5 or 6 meters above the surface of the water, a head as big as a cow, red eyes, and big as a lantern, staring at his son. Shish, the lantern, staring at his son. Shish, the lantern,